is the Troubleshooter Show.
Help! I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can. I'm feeling down, and I do appreciate.
Hi, Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere. Let's do what we can to help you solve your problems. If you have a problem, give us a call. If you have a complaint, give us a call. If you want to gripe, give us a call. If you want to praise someone, give us a call, because that is what we're doing. We're also going to talk about property tax valuations. We do have a solution. There are things you can do. And we'll be telling you how you can protest your taxes step by step. And we'll be offering a free book. Free. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Let's talk to Charles. Charles, what's happening? You tell me now. You are being blackmailed?
Yeah, my father-in-law, he alleges that credit cards were used without permission when they were actually used with permission.
Okay, so you used, hold on, you used your father-in-law's credit cards with permission.
Yes.
Okay, now what?
Now those charges were discovered, and
he's disputing them.
he called law enforcement out.
Okay, so your father-in-law
investigate.
said you could use his credit card and then changed his mind.
No, we actually forgot to give him the receipts for the purchases, so when his statement came, he had no idea what the charges were for.
But normally, if I get my statement and they have charges on them, or the statement has charges I don't recognize, I simply call the credit card company. I don't call the police. Why did he call the police? And normally police would not respond to a call like that. So there's something I'm not hearing.
He was unsure as to who the charges had been made.
Charles, let me explain something to you. If I have unknown charges on my credit account right now today, and I call the police, they will not respond. They will say, call your credit card company. They would not respond to a call like that. So I need to know, why did the police respond to a call that someone was using his credit card? Because if I call, I promise you, I could call right now police. They will not come and do a report. If I said I have charges on my credit card I don't recognize, they would not send police officers. They would not even investigate. They would tell me to call my credit card company. So help me understand why, in this case, your father-in-law was able to do a police report.
He had contacted his credit card company prior to and essentially froze the cards, so nothing more could be done with the cards, at which point he filed a claim with the company, and they had said that he needed to get some kind of police documentation, like you would with insurance for a car accident.
Okay, the only time he would do that is if he knew someone was using the card and he knew who it was. If I call my credit card company today and say there are charges I don't recognize, they would not tell me to call the police and get a police report. It just doesn't happen that way. The only time the credit card company would tell me to call the police is if I called and I said this: I know someone who is using my credit card without authorization. What should I do? The credit card company would say, we'll take the charges off, we'll freeze the card, call the police. That's the only time. So, Charles, he had to have been calling specifically about you guys.
Well, the charges in general, I suppose.
No, police don't investigate that. Charles, I don't know what to tell you. Police do not investigate unauthorized charges on a credit card. They do not investigate them. I've been through this 100 times with people. They don't investigate that kind of charge, so you don't have to worry about it. Police will not investigate.
Well, they came to his door.
Well, then excuse me. Why did they come to his door? Suzanne, I just said the only time they would investigate is if the father-in-law called specifically because he thought someone was using his card. And
Right.
Charles said no, he just called about unauthorized charges. So therefore, Charles, you're not telling me what really happened. The father-in-law accused you directly of using the cards. Why would police show up at your door? Oh, let me get this straight. I call the credit card company and I say, I have unauthorized charges on my credit card. They say, call the police. I call the police and say, I have unauthorized charges on my credit card. And they automatically show up at my son-in-law's door. Does that make sense to anybody? Does it make sense to anyone?
No, and Charles told me, Tom, that they actually saw him on surveillance, video surveillance at the stores.
But why did they target Charles? Because the father-in-law reported Charles. Because, Charles, of all the people in the world, why would the police go to your door? Tell me that. Unless the father-in-law told them you did it. Why? Why would they show up at your door?
I think he's pleading the fifth.
No. What I'm saying is I'm not hearing the full story. Here's what happened. The father-in-law reported that his son-in-law and daughter were using his cards illegally, so they showed up at Charles' door.
And they admitted to using the credit card.
Then why
now
didn't he just
they're
tell
being
me that?
blackmailed.
Why didn't he just tell me that? So they admitted using the card, but
To
he
the
said
police.
he said it was with authorization.
Yes.
So Charles, when the credit card statement showed up, he accused you guys of fraud, straight out, right?
Yes.
And that's why the police showed up at your door. You were accused of fraud. You're saying he gave permission. I have to tell you something, okay? I'm going to tell you something. Even with permission, it's a crime. Now, they won't prosecute it, but it's a crime because you either have to forge his name or you put your name down, which is illegal. So because you're using a card that's not yours, or you're forging his name. Which one was it? Either way, it's a crime. Now, police will not prosecute if someone used my card with permission, but it is still technically a crime. It's a crime against the credit card company and a crime against the merchant. So we have a problem. You committed a crime. You're saying your defense is he let you use it. Now, this is good. Will he lie about that, or will he go along with you? Is he mad at you, or will he go along with your story that you did it with permission?
He's kind of going back and forth via text.
Okay, so he's saying, hey, I'll take care of it, don't worry about it, and then he's saying, I'm going to come after you. Both?
Yes.
Why? Why is he being so fickle?
He's always been this way. His daughter and him have butted heads. He despises me. He absolutely hates me.
Okay, so he hates you. Why did he let you use the credit card if he hates you?
It was his daughter. She's
okay. So he let his daughter use the credit card, and now he's taking back that. He's saying he never did, right?
Yes, correct.
Why is he doing this? Why is he mad at his daughter?
I guess he feels she owes him something. He's, trying to get us out of our place.
Have you been paying rent on time?
We haven't missed a single month. We haven't gotten a notice.
I'm wondering why all of a sudden your father-in-law turned on you. It's weird. You're renting from him. Then all of a sudden he says, hey, use my credit card. By the way, what did you use the credit card for? What were the charges?
Office supplies.
Okay, that seems odd to me. He would say, go ahead, use my credit card for office supplies. Then he would call the police on you. Do you think he did it on purpose just to hook you guys?
I guess any possible.
It sounds devious to me that he gave you permission to use the card, then changed his mind just to get you in trouble.
Charles, I think you should tell Tom about the settlement coming up, the potential settlement.
Yeah, we are in a lawsuit. I can't really disclose.
Okay, that's okay. You're in a lawsuit, and you have some money coming, you think?
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
You and your wife have, about how much money do you have coming?
In the ballpark of 150 grand.
So you have about 150 grand coming. Do you think the father-in-law knows about that?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So do you think he let you use he told you to use the credit card with the idea that he was going to get you arrested? What does that have to do with the settlement?
He's currently has a promissory note drafted up that we are to pay him X amount, $70,000, lest he continue with charges of credit card fraud.
So let me get this straight. The father-in-law tells his daughter and his son-in-law, the father tells his daughter, use my credit card. The daughter uses the credit card. The father then says, I never gave you permission, and calls police. The police are investigating, and then the father comes to his daughter and son-in-law and says, hey, I can get you out of this. I'll agree not to press charges as long as you pay me 70 grand.
Yes.
And the evidence is in front of you, Tom.
Now, Mark, is that a story you can believe? Listen to this. The father purposely let them use the credit card, knowing he was going to call the police to have them arrested unless they pay him $70,000.
I don't think it was quite that calculated, but I do think he's blackmailing him.
So what do you think happened really? Let's talk about it coming up.
This report is brought to you by Colorado Parks and Wildlife.
To have in the studio that we have to stop, and that's talking. Okay? It's happening way too much. With guests, with people. It's like I'm not even fucking here. I mean, I'm telling you, people are just out and out having fucking conversations. I mean, yesterday was atrocious, and we have to stop it. If you guys talk, you can go like this. You know, it's easy to talk without me hearing. It's easy. But to use a voice like this where you hear the intonation, it sounds like shit.
That's the text from the father-in-law. Now, what he
We
told
got way
me,
too comfortable with it. Our guests did. They can't talk in the studio. They have to whisper. Yeah.
I think he's trying to keep it simple with, yeah, I admit we used the card, but what they told me
I
originally,
have to unload because people don't know what's going on.
originally what they said is her mother gave him permission to use the card, who had slight dementia, and he didn't know she gave him permission. And of course, he's saying she wouldn't give permission. She's got dementia. You guys are bullshit, and this is a crime.
Who is this?
They really did.
Who is Canafia?
That is, don't say that out loud. That is, he said they are not allowed to talk about that federal lawsuit that they're getting ready to get a settlement on. So any names I just blacked out so they didn't get accidentally mentioned.
It's on the internet. Tell me if you want me to knock it off.
See, I think they potentially,
This is fucking crazy.
I mean, he's saying sign this or I'm pressing charges.
What's the worst thing he would get for using the credit card or the daughter? I mean, it's going to be nothing. It ain't
Joe
70
said,
grand.
Joe Lazare, and I should say this on the air, he couldn't come on today. He said, tell that guy to go to the police with $200 and say, here's my restitution for the credit card.
Here's what I want to do. I want to call that dad.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Get him on the air.
Tell him exactly what to do.
Tell him we're doing work, and that means we're investigating credit card fraud.
Including things like marijuana, because whether you've never used it, used to use it, still use it, or never inhale, you know things. So what things are you telling your kids? Because even if they're not hearing things from you about marijuana, they're still hearing things.
I wonder what this case is about, though, this federal court case.
You're the one that matters most, because you're a parent, a teacher, a coach, a mentor.
We should have Lazare or someone look it up and see what the hell it is.
Starts with you saying something. Get tools and tips.
What's that?
This federal case where they're getting 150. It's Christine
Who
M.
cares about it? Who cares about it, though, Mark? Mark, don't say it.
I'm not going to say it on
But
there.
who cares? Well, we're on the air. Who cares? Why is that camera there right now? Just out of curiosity.
Somebody took our cord. I forgot to bring our cord back up.
Someone literally stole our cord over the weekend. So we're just going to have to take it with us every
Where
day.
was it?
Right here. It's been here for months. We've always had it right here. It's one of them weekend warriors. No, I know who you're going to say it is. Can you believe him?
So what is the camera pointing at? Trust me.
Well, it's going to be for Gigi.
It was for Gigi. It was in, but it's still the mic.
How come
it's
she
still
didn't
the mic.
show, do you know? We had 3 attorneys in a row.
And this is always the mic for off air.
What do you think about that cryptocurrency?
I love cryptocurrency.
The new one?
You know who was talking about that was Doc.
I know. What do you think about it?
I think if you invested $70 in Bitcoin when it came out, you would have $72 million right now. $72 million. It went from
I'm gonna buy.
It went from 0.003 cents to 2,000.
Yeah, just got a record yesterday.
$2,200
$2,200
a coin. It went from 0.003 cents, 1/1000th of a penny,
Double the
to
last
$2,200. $72 million. Who would have thunk?
I don't know how they make money.
Well, it's not they. There is no one person making money.
There's a company now for it.
Yeah, they.
I mean, I don't understand everything on the Bitcoin, but like I said,
They have. First of all,
I'm 12 years old.
It's Michael Brown.
I like it's a currency. It's my show.
Later
Yep,
today,
it is.
on Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. We got a crazy case here, folks. Charles says that he and his wife are being blackmailed by her dad. Okay? Her dad is basically saying whether or not he used the card with permission or not really doesn't matter. But Charles and his wife admittedly used a credit card and it was used. Okay? And it wasn't theirs. They used their in-laws' credit card. Charles used his in-laws' credit card, he and his wife. Her parents, his in-laws. Okay? Now the father, and I have it in writing, is saying for $70,000 he won't pursue the case. It's all in writing. For $70,000 I won't pursue the case. Is this guy a moron to put that in writing? He is blackmailing Charles. Charles, you could tell him to go stick it up as you know what and just take $200, go to the police and say, here's my reimbursement. What was it, $200 in charges, Charles?
Yeah, give or take like 20.
So what's the worst that can happen to you and your wife for using a dad's credit card for $200? They wouldn't even prosecute it. And even if they did, you guys would testify that they let you use it. And even that's if a DA wanted to prosecute. A DA would never take this to court, ever. And, you know, and you're not going to plead guilty, so he'd have to take it to court. They would eventually drop it. Any good district attorney would look at this as a family squabble and drop the case. So even if you're charged and then they try to pressure you into some kind of plea agreement and you say, hell no, I'm not pleading to anything. Then what you do is you fight it. Or you won't have to. They won't prosecute it.
There's got to be something bigger we're missing. He must have more than this stupid $200 credit card charge. I mean, does he have you on video raping somebody or something?
Yeah, Charles,
there's got to be more.
What do the in-laws have on you?
Just a hatred for me, I suppose.
No, but what do they have on you that they can get you in trouble with? All they can get you in trouble with is what?
The fraud for the card. The officer, I know that they don't always tell the truth. However, he was saying that, well, just swiping the card is a felony, and this.
Well, it is, so what? What are they going to do about it? What did the police say they would do to you? What did they say they would do to you?
They actually said nothing. It was pretty much my father-in-law exerting the muscle.
Okay, the police may charge you. The DA will never take it to court, especially when he talks to you and your wife, and you guys say, Dad gave us permission to use it. And then they'll say, well, why don't you plead to this? And you go, no. Or you could pay a fine. And here's the deal. You either take a plea for something minor or make them take you to court. They won't take it to court. They're not going to prosecute this. They're going to have you and the daughter up on the stand, even if you agree to testify, saying Dad gave us permission, and then they're going to have the guy saying no, I didn't, and then you guys are going to introduce this letter blackmailing you for $70,000. I mean, come on. Let's just call it like it is. The guy lost. He attempted to blackmail you, and he lost.
I still say there's something we're missing here. This seems too crazy.
Now, Charles, on another note, he can evict you. He can evict you if your lease is up. Is your lease up?
No, we actually have...
It's up in September, Tom.
Okay, so he can't evict you unless you violate the lease. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if he threatens to evict you, let him evict you. You guys got 150 G's coming, but he can't evict you because if you go to court, you have to have a reason to evict. Unless the end of the lease comes, then you don't need a reason. But if you're within compliance and if you're making your lease payments, he can't evict you. You are in the driver's seat, Charles. You're in the driver's seat. This guy can do nothing to you except huff and puff and attempt to blow your house down. This guy can do nothing.
And my understanding of how the eviction process works is that even say we didn't pay, and he had records of non-payment and everything like that.
Then he would give you a here's what would happen. If you did not pay, he would give you a 3-day notice which says quit or pay. Now, in 3 days, if you do not quit or pay, he would then take that notice and he would go to the court and he would file for an eviction. And then he would be given a hearing. You would be served. When he files the suit for eviction, you would then be served notice of hearing. And that might be in a week or two. Then you go to court, or you have an opportunity to go, and then he goes to court. And he says they did not pay. The tenant usually doesn't show up. But if the tenant does show up, they say, okay, Your Honor, he's right. We didn't pay, but my mother had cancer, my kid had an ear infection, whatever. And the judge says, too bad, so sad, evicted. Or the tenant says, no, we paid. Here are the receipts. And then the landlord says, okay, well, Mr. Landlord, you don't get the eviction. Or in your case, you say, Your Honor, we have a lease. The lease is not up, and we're in compliance. And then the judge says, no eviction. That's how it works. If you did pay, if you have a lease, you're going to stay. If you didn't pay, if he has good reason, you're going to go.
What if the landlord, Tom, says in the hearing, he used my credit card and he admitted to it and it was unauthorized, I want him out?
Has nothing to do with the lease. He's not in violation of the lease. Mike Wink is with us from Wink and Wink. Mike, are we essentially correct?
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Even if the guy used his credit card, would that be a reason?
That's a totally separate action.
Yeah.
I'd really like to know why this guy's so pissed at him, though. Just drag it out of him. There's got to be something here. I mean, did he take the girl away when she was 17
Charles,
or something? What happened?
Why does Daddy hate you so much?
This goes back to when her and I first got together. It was Christmas Day, the night of Christmas, December 25th. 2010.
Okay, should I start the organ music? Okay, go ahead.
It was 3 days after her 18th birthday. Yep. I think it was kind of I stole his baby from him right after she turned 18.
Okay. So he's pissed.
Like me and
all right. Bottom line is you're disliked. He can't manufacture a blackmail case against you.
Should Charles call the police on his father-in-law for trying to blackmail him?
No, because the police won't do anything. Police are basically, in a nice way, they're morons. They're good morons, though. They enforce the law. They protect us. I love them. But when it comes to the law, they're morons. They don't get involved in anything that is complicated like this. This is a case you take to the district attorney directly. And you say, here is a case of blackmail. Please investigate it. The police will protect you. They'll go after, if somebody beats somebody up, if somebody accuses somebody of this or accuses somebody of that, or if there's a break-in or a robbery. Police are wonderful. But when it comes to complicated white-collar crime, they don't get involved. They don't make arrests. They don't. So
yes. He's got something else on this guy. There's something else.
Listen, Charles, you have in writing right now a blackmail case against your father-in-law. I'm telling you, you got a case against the father-in-law. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. I'd like to call the father-in-law. I'd like to call him.
I did.
I want to tell him straight up.
He didn't want to talk to us. He was polite, but he didn't want to talk to us.
Okay, did you
he
tell him?
He said Charles is only screwing himself by talking to us.
Well, hold on. Does a man know? Does the man know he's committing a crime?
I can remind him of that.
Remind him. He's committing a crime, and we're going to the district attorney because we have the evidence in writing.
Okay.
Okay? In fact, have him listen, and I'll read the evidence on the air. Why don't you do that? And then we're going to take some other calls and problems and questions and complaints. As I said, Mike Wink is with us. They are attorneys at law that do bankruptcy. But as you know, when we have guests on the show, they chime in because they're part of the referral list. They're part of the effort. We don't have to talk bankruptcy, but if you have any questions, of course, he's certainly here to answer. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And speaking of bankruptcy, it would not get you out of a fine or penalty of law. Is that right?
That's right. That's right.
What else?
Criminal restitution.
No fraud, right?
Yeah, criminal restitution.
You don't get out of.
Obviously, yeah, student loans, court fines.
Right.
Taxes, and more taxes.
Certain kind of taxes. If they're old enough, typically you can get out of them. About 3 years, they have to be due, and then so long as you filed, you can get out of them.
One Clear Choice Garage Doors will come and inspect your garage door free of charge. Now, listen, you say there's a hook to this, right? Yes, there is. They want to put a sticker near your door so you remember to call them if anything goes wrong. But they'll check your hinges, they'll tighten the bolts, they'll check the cables, they'll check the opener, they'll check the entire garage door, they'll make safety adjustments, all free, because they want to be your garage door company. Go online, look at them, all their prices clearly marked, oneclearchoicedoors.com, 303-565-6409. Just because you hear all kinds of commercials from lenders about low rates, good terms, and fast closings doesn't mean they're all the same.
My son just finished his freshman year.
Oh, cool. Where is he going?
He's in a small private school in Boulder called September School.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
What's that? That's not bad.
Yeah, it is. It is. Well, because he's got learning disabilities, so he's been out of public school for a while. He's got basically dyslexia and dysgraphia, so writing is a real challenge. And so just a little more attention is what he needs, and that's what he gets. Yes, sir.
I was just going to say, I am caught up on
for project.
all of mine.
Damn, I do have projects. I didn't get around to explaining them to you. So
I've got a good one for you.
What do you got?
By the way, I have to say, this is my favorite dynamic from someone, anyone working for me, that comes to me and says,
I'm done.
I need more stuff to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to know
in the background.
Yes, thank you.
Is on the referral list that is in Logan's thing.
Logan's thing. I don't know what that
in his
is.
booklet, whatever it's called.
Oh, I see. And do you have Dave Logan's book?
Yeah, it's sitting on my desk.
I'll cross-reference that.
Let's do that. Make a list.
All right.
Do you have another project she was working on?
No, but she's going to have plenty once some of these
yeah.
kids
Wait till
I'm just saying I
303 Martino, she's going to be the main deal on that one.
I finished collections this morning, and I didn't want to.
What's your shirt?
It's Paris.
Oh.
I wanted a comfy shirt today. I didn't sleep good. You know, I knew Lauren wasn't at that concert, but just knowing that she's right there.
In the city?
Well, she's just outside of Manchester, so it was.
Is that Manchester by the sea?
No. Oh, no, and that, I'm sorry, worst movie ever.
I know.
Oh my God, it was like just
If you
dragged.
want to leave feeling suicidal, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that movie, I'm like, okay, yes, he was a good actor, he could win that, but the movie?
What movie?
I lost 2.5 hours.
Manchester by the Sea.
Oh, I never seen it.
Casey Affleck.
Yeah.
That kid, did you see him in Good Will Hunting?
Yeah.
The kid, Casey. Did you notice him? Now, Ben was in it.
I remember, I was going to say, I don't remember.
He gave his brother a part.
Okay. I don't remember Casey's role in it.
Those guys wrote a brilliant movie.
Yeah?
I mean,
How old were they then? Like early 20s?
I want to know what this kid's leaving out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
great
Yeah. So what else you talking that for the original Rocky too? Was he the writer? And, yeah,
have Suzanne get the
big time,
Twitter
man.
guy on. From yesterday. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I think
His father sings all that dialogue.
Yeah. I think Damon's had a better career than Ben Affleck. You don't think so?
The Caller.
I think they're about as equal as you get.
Yeah, you're right. Because I forgot about he had that Academy Award-winning movie. What was it? The one in Iran.
God, that was a great.
Yeah, that was great. I forgot about
Sniper.
that movie.
No, the one where he played the guy that got the hostages out.
Yeah, you're right. And Damon, when he played the fabulous Mr. Ripley, did you see that movie? Oh, that's a good one.
Damon's cool.
Yeah, he plays. There's like a murder thing, and it's great. It's a great movie. Creepy.
The Creeps.
Yeah, man. Fabulous Mr. Ripley. You should check it out.
I've seen that.
Going on now at our tent sale, save up to 40% off. True treadmills, ellipticals, and stationary bikes. They're the industry's best warranty. 10 years on all parts.
You know, math movies are a little thing right now.
Strength equipment. 46 years.
It's a weird thing.
It is. They turn them into action sequences, man. Doing the math. You look for math movies. There are a number of them, and I've seen them all. They're like the latest one is Talented. Gifted.
Okay.
But if you look at there is actually a series of movies on math, and they are intriguing. One is about this Indian kid who's and these people they're talking about are savants. I mean, we're talking
right.
They understand without even being taught.
Yeah.
What's the one where the janitor is the?
That's Good Will Hunting.
That's unbelievably good.
Yeah.
That was the first math movie ever.
Yeah. I thought I was good at math. I went to engineering school.
I would argue that.
And when calculus went to the third dimension,
Dustin Hoffman.
I knew I wasn't very good at math.
Rain
I hit a wall.
Was Rain Man? But Rain
I could
Man
pass
wasn't a
tests, but I
math
couldn't
movie.
really solve problems.
Being an ass in the tissue.
That's why I was living on partial credit at that point.
Rain Man did some math, but Rain Man was not a math movie.
Right.
It was just a.
Was Russell Crowe in one? Didn't he have one where he was like an academic?
Now that was what you're calling Beautiful Mind.
Right.
He was a schizophrenic.
Right, okay.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK. We uncovered a crime of blackmail. We have it in writing. May I see it, please? I'm going to read you the texts. Okay, now listen to this. This guy used his father-in-law's credit card, and his daughter used his credit card, the father's credit card. Okay, so it's a husband and wife. They used their dad's credit card. Okay? Then he called the police, and he said, I know you got this settlement coming. I want 70 grand, and I'll keep my mouth shut. I won't press charges. Now, by the way, if someone committed a crime against you, you have a choice not to cooperate, but you can't charge for it. You can't blackmail. Now, if somebody owed you money, you could say, hey, you pay me the money you owe me, and I'll take it easy on you. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not blackmail because you're owed money. But if you ask for money or reward, you got a problem. You can say, step up and pay me the money you owe me. Be a man, pay me the money you owe me. But you can't say, hey, I'd like 25 grand and I'll keep my mouth shut. If you're ever a witness in a case and somebody says, I won't tell if you pay me, it's blackmail. If you're a witness in a case and you say that, you're committing a crime. Now listen, here's what the father-in-law or the father of this couple said. His name's Norvin. Here's what he wrote in a text. I didn't put it in the email for obvious reasons, but just to be clear, even if you drop Christine at some point, your freedom depends on the note being in place, that's the $70,000, and will include doing the right thing regarding any amounts owed besides what is owed to me. Now, what he's saying is, in addition to the 70 grand, I want you to pay whatever else you owe to me. There's nothing wrong with that part, but he is saying, your freedom depends on that note being in place. And then here's the note. And the note, which was sent by email, says, for value received, basically for 70 grand, you're good with me. 70 grand. So he has a promissory note for 70 grand. Look at the promissory note, Mike Wink from Wink and Wink. Look at that. Now, that note in itself does not mention the blackmail. See if you... What reason does he say the value is received? Does he say what the reason is? It says for value received for what, though? What is
It doesn't say.
Tom.
It doesn't. Now, but in the text it says, I didn't put this in the email for obvious reasons, but just to be clear, even if you drop Christine, which means, you lose my daughter, which I'd like you to leave her, your freedom still depends on the note being in place. And that note will include doing the right thing regarding any amounts owed. Then it says this. That just the cost of having freedom and keeping your family together at this point. My lawyer can track the progress of the case regardless of where you run off to live. And even if you don't communicate with me, and I am betting the sheriff will find you.
There is more to this
than
a $200 credit card deal. There has to be.
It's so wrong, Mark.
He wants this guy to leave his daughter, and he wants to be paid 70 grand. What does that promissory note say, Mike?
Well, it just says for value received, which is actually a common term in a note.
But usually for value...
But it should have consideration, meaning both sides should give something, and the consideration can't be something illegal. So that note, even if he signed it, is you could probably fight the enforceability of it, although I think it's better not to sign it, obviously.
By the way, if I had a note due somebody 10 years prior, and I go for bankruptcy, and the creditor comes in and says, I have a note due to me, and I want to be first in line. The story here is that trustee could discount that note if it has nothing, if it's not what's called quid pro, what is it called, the even on both sides, right?
Right. Consideration is the term, that both sides have to give something.
If it's simply money,
right,
and there's nothing, well, what did you do for this money? Right. Then no, you don't owe this guy. As far as bankruptcy goes, you don't owe him.
Right. Like I said, you could fight the enforceability of a note that has no consideration, or the consideration that he's giving is something illegal.
Quid pro quo is what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Okay, now, let's go to the phones. Mark, you're thinking this guy must have done something dastardly.
There's got to be something there. There's no way the father is so stupid that he thinks over a $200 credit card charge, there's 70 grand invoked here. There's something wrong.
All right, Bree, what's going on with you, Bree?
All right, so quick question. Back in 2010, me and my husband filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy. We went ahead and we used Stephen Birkin, who was on your referral list at that time.
Yes, he was, yep.
And long story short, he really struggled with communication. One thing my husband and I asked for him not to do was put our vehicle and our house into the bankruptcy.
Well, he doesn't have a choice.
Well, and that was something that he never...
Well, I mean, but even if you said don't put... What do you mean don't put your vehicle in? I mean, am I right, Mike? They can't exclude things, right?
That's right. You're absolutely right.
Okay, perfect. And that's what I needed to know. So
No. Why would you want to exclude? First of all, you're not allowed to. It doesn't matter. And so Steve did the right thing by not doing it. And by the way, at that time, he was doing a pretty good job for people. I mean, I've had my differences with him, and we've had a lot of complaints about him, but he was doing a pretty good job at Chapter 7. So what was the problem with him other than that?
Well, and that was probably the biggest thing, is him not clarifying to us kind of these are the steps that we're going to go ahead and take. And
well, how did that harm you?
Well, no, and so it didn't harm us in the long run, but my question is whether or not we need to refinance to get the home back into our name if we choose to
The home
sell.
is in your name.
Well, it doesn't come up on my husband's credit report
No,
at
that's
all.
right. Here's why.
Okay.
And Mike, why don't you explain what happens even though they still owe the money?
That's right.
They don't get credit for
That's
it.
right.
Explain that.
Things like a car loan or a mortgage are secured debts. And that means there's sort of two-part transactions that has a promise to pay.
By you personally.
By you personally for the amount of the debt.
Plus,
and then there's a lien
collateral.
that says, if I don't pay on my promise to pay, you could take my house or my car. What happens in a typical Chapter 7 bankruptcy is the promise to pay part is wiped out.
The personal
liability.
obligation.
But if you want to keep your house, you want to keep your car, you keep paying for it, But because the promise to pay was wiped out in the bankruptcy, it's not showing up on the credit report.
Don't get credit for it because you can't be punished for not making it. So they don't give you kudos for making the payments. So in order for them to start counting it again, you would have to reaffirm the note or refinance. You don't have to refinance. If you like the loan, you can reaffirm it. A reaffirmation would then put you back on the hook.
Or do nothing.
Well, but if she does nothing, she won't get credit for it on her credit report. So if you want to get credit for it on your credit report, both your car and your home, you do a reaffirmation.
Okay. I mean, and my biggest concern too is we're talking about maybe selling in the next year or two, and so I didn't know at that time. Like,
Mike, is there any reason we would have someone reaffirm it?
But just wait. She's mentioned something. If you're going to sell it in a year or so, and you want to buy another home, you may have a problem. First, you have to be out of bankruptcy about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, we're about to be at the 7-year mark.
You're going to be fine. But it would be nice to have that payment history if you could.
Definitely.
Now,
they just ask for it. They give them the payment history.
Well, they will, but they won't give them kudos. I want to know this. And they won't even give them a record. They won't tell them if they were ever late or not. So that would leave the other people to guess. So here's what I want to know. What Mark just asked. Is there ever a reason to reaffirm the note?
Typically, our starting position is don't reaffirm secured debt. If you want to keep the asset, you just pay.
Now, here's why. Let me explain this. You go through the pain and misery of a bankruptcy. No, you do. So why wouldn't you want to take advantage of all of the so-called benefits, one of them being you take the risk away from a car or a home depreciating. So why would you want to put yourself back on the hook? Keep going.
So on mortgages, our position now is pretty much never reaffirmed. Now, I think before the housing crash, it was a way for bankruptcy attorneys to make a little more money. It seemed to make sense. It helps people rebuild their credit.
Why do bankruptcy attorneys make more money?
Well, because you could charge a little more for the reaffirmation work, yes. So, but the point is that it puts you back on, and then if you go into another housing crash, you lose your job, you can't pay your mortgage.
What we're saying is you'll never be held responsible for that loan personally, ever.
On the auto side, it's kind of interesting because
I would never do it on an auto.
But the lien, I agree, but the lien we do it more on autos, and the reason is the lien will say if you file bankruptcy, you're in breach of the lien, which the auto lender could take to say, hey, I don't even care if you're current on your payments. You filed bankruptcy, we're taking your car.
No, I would never
reaffirm.
I wouldn't reaffirm an auto unless I was in a positive equity position.
Yeah.
Never in a negative equity position.
It's nuts.
Good questions, though.
Yeah, that's good.
Your mic's on, bro. Sorry.
I can't think of one reason.
No, you're right. Good question. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason
the only other reason is what you just.
If you have a good car loan that's not underwater, and the only lenders who typically threaten to repossess are like the manufacturing arms for the automakers. So it's like GM Financial and Toyota. Those guys want the reaff. And if the car has equity and the person has enough income to pay it, then we'll reaffirm.
Shit, I'd run into a tree and say, "Come get your car."
Right.
So,
and if it's at all underwater, we're just like, "Hey, man,
they're nuts
don't do it."
They're nuts to screw with anybody in that case.
Well, and it's interesting because the whole legality of that provision in the lien, it's called the ipso facto clause, could be attacked. So if they took your car while you were current, you could sue them for theft. And so, but you normally don't want to set your clients up for another lawsuit.
No.
But if you're in a bad car loan,
for a spot. I have a sleep apnea. I'm sorry.
What's that?
First night, I get a request for a spot yesterday afternoon late, and they want to know is it Doug?
Who was it?
Guess. Just guess. One name only. 3 letters. One 3 letters in the name. Not the rep. One name.
Solutions. So I called for a free consultation with an STS provider. They set me up with a home sleep test.
That's a trip. I still say
owner of that landscape company from last week, I have the original caller on and the owner. The owner has requested not to talk to caller directly. He will only talk to you.
And this was the landscaper who did nothing.
16 grand.
Apparently did nothing. I will send you the pictures that he sent me of what he did do.
Do we have an expert look yet?
Wasn't it spray paint?
No, that's a whole different one.
I gotta pee. How much time do I have?
EEP. Sleep
Treatment Solutions.
Why don't you just wear Depends?
Hey, stop that. Hey, age discrimination right now.
There's nothing wrong with that.
You're making fun
That
of me.
one Army lady drove cross country to try to kill her husband and pissed in the diaper the whole time.
I do remember that story.
She wouldn't even stop long enough to take a piss.
Actually, SWAT members and snipers and stuff wear diapers.
Maybe that's where she got the idea.
God, maybe.
Because then they got to sit there, they can't move, they got to keep the scope on.
That was the craziest story, though. She drove cross country, bought a box of Depends. No, this was a couple years ago, if not longer. It was just one of those odd stories you read that I'll never forget.
Bring her back up.
It's like the Hayman fire. I'll never forget the woman who started the fire, worked for the Forest Service, and the lady was out there burning up a Dear Jane letter that someone broke up with her and lights the damn place on fire. It was crazy. Ends up dropping our property value up there by shit. That house went from 400 to 200. All our neighbors' homes burned down. Our home was the only one that stayed up.
Where are you?
West Creek. It was the second house. We didn't have like family heirlooms or anything.
Right.
It was a mountain house. But what sucked is everything burned down around it, so we had no forest, no insurance claim. We just had $200,000 less in value overnight.
So
because of this stupid lady.
What's the grow back?
Mark, I sent those pictures for the landscape.
Okay. Does those trees in the forest grow back, or is that forever dead wood? That's just the
No, it just started greening, but those trees are like 3 feet tall, and it's been what, 12 years or something crazy. Eventually, it's a cycle of nature.
Yeah.
We got lucky, at least. Then we think, well, the worst scenario now is we get flooded because there's nothing to stop the water coming down, but that never happened. And then, of course,
we had a fire, like, we backed to a big open space, but it's all a field, and so it just there wasn't enough energy, but it was like literally
scared the hell out of you.
Yeah. Well, it was that moment where you're like, what do you take out of your house if it's about to burn down? I mean, there's a few things you could think of off the top of your head, but
I'd snag my hard drive backups.
Yeah.
Maybe some stuff in the safe if we had time.
Yeah, I remember I had to, I was living in the Bay Area, and I had to take the BART to like the end of the line, which is like Richmond, I think it's called, and it is just ghetto land, you know. So I come out of the BART station, and I'm waiting for a cab, and I'm just thinking, I'm about to get mugged.
This is not going
good.
good.
And the only thing I could think of was my data. It was like I had my briefcase. I was like, just don't take my data.
It is funny. You
I didn't
can have my wallet, take my credit card, not my files.
Right.
Hello, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome. I am a consumer advocate for years and years, and what I've been doing is solving problems, answering questions,
taking complaints, recovering millions of dollars, all with your help. You know why? Because, listen, so many people listen that you tell each other and word gets back and people think, wow, we better do the right thing. And I don't misuse that at all. I never, ever, ever ask businesses, I think, to go beyond, really beyond normal. They choose to sometimes, but I don't think we've ever been really, truly unfair with the business. Now, if you think we have been, I want to hear from you.
Oh, there's some businesses that think we have been.
Well, I want to know if truly, when all is said and done, if they really feel that way. I mean, if they really look at it objectively. But by the way, if you do, fine. I'd like to hear about it. Now, we had a landscaping call, and it was a very simple landscaping call. We get a lot of them. Guy paid money up front, and he didn't get what he said, his just quality or quantity. He felt he had way less done than he paid for. I want Mark to sum that up. Mark, would that be a good summary?
Yes, that would be good.
How much did you pay, Mark?
We paid $16,000 up front.
Yeah.
$10,000 to begin with, and then two $3,000 payments.
Okay, so about 16 grand over what period of time?
It was from November 2015 to about March 2016.
Now, how much did you get? You felt you got only around, what, $4,000 in work, did you say?
Oh, I would say, yeah, a few thousand. I'm not sure how much. I'm not in that industry.
And so what did you want? Did you want a refund, or did he refuse to go on? Why did you want to end the contract?
I didn't want to end the contract.
What happened?
The last comment I had from Ryan was, obviously, I'm going to come and finish the job.
Oh, then what happened?
Well, he and my wife had some, my wife called him to see when he was coming, and he told my wife he wasn't a weed picker and that he was...
Did he quit?
Not coming, and she was ignorant.
Okay. Well, now, from what I see of these photos that he sent, I see a retaining wall with random river rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then I see a groomed area in the front with gravel. That's like a zero-scape. Is that right?
And a boulder.
And a boulder. Is that what he did?
Well, yeah, and the boulder was already there.
Well, okay. But that gravel around...
Yeah, he did that. He did the gravel there.
The gravel and the edging and the retaining wall. Is that it?
Well, in the backyard, it looks like he got rid of what I assume was grass at one point.
Okay.
Yes, he got rid of all the grass. He did put in some edging.
Did he do that concrete slab?
No, the concrete slab was there.
Okay. So he leveled that area, and then what about that one pipe? What did he do? Was there a sprinkler system?
There was a sprinkler system that wasn't working, and in the contract we had...
so what did he do?
Replaced.
Did he do anything underground?
Well, I believe that there was some pipe that they laid. I'm not saying that... I don't know where the sprinkler heads are.
Did he leave... Did he leave pigtails or ends of the pipe anywhere?
Yes.
How many ends?
By the house.
How many ends?
Well, they're all bundled together right next to the house where the manifold would be.
Okay, so he did run some zones.
I believe he may have done
But you don't know where in the yard the zones are.
No, I have no idea.
Okay. I'd say this is $5,000. What would you say, looking at it?
I would say
it's mostly demo.
You'd have to stretch it for $5,000. You'd really have to. No, if he laid all the pipe, how many ends?
Digging up that old grass
how many
is
ends?
hard.
How many ends does he have sticking out?
I don't know.
I mean zones. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many are approximately?
Again, I can't see them all. There's so many weeds out here.
No,
now
you told me he bundled them where the manifold would be. Can you give me a guess?
Yeah.
How many? How many zones did he run?
I can go out here and count them. Just a minute.
How many
right
zones?
there.
Yeah, let me know how many zones. We're going to find out what he plans to do. Because we have Stone Falls Custom Masonry and Landscape on the line. We're running out of time.
His side, Tom.
I want to give him plenty of time, but I don't think he can justify $16,000 for God's sake.
Maybe he's willing to fix it.
Well, we'll find out. It's all coming up right after this.
There ain't no $16,000 here.
No, maybe 5.
I just connected them by mistake.
The hardest part is that digging up that old side, man. That is
Yeah,
a
but come on,
bear.
you're right. And he leveled it. Did he put topsoil? No, he didn't.
No, I don't see topsoil yet.
But, Mark, I don't know, $5,000 might. You're right. If he put zones down, if he wired, piped all the sprinklers, you're right about $5,000. You're right.
I think what he's going to
Maybe
say,
the 6.
it took him so long to get back out there because he didn't show. It grew a ton of weeds, and I think they want him to pick the weeds. That's my only guess because you said weed picker.
Right, he's not a weed picker.
Or he said he's not a weed picker.
All you did is hit with Roundup. Shit.
Stop stirring the shit.
Roundup? That's $8.
All he does is he sits around all day and stirs shit.
I just think about stuff.
He's a troublemaker. He doesn't look like it, but he is a big troublemaker.
2 troublooters.
I was going to say, the troublemaker with the troubleshooter. You guys you definitely stay in business then.
There's always something going on.
When I go out and get videos of people, he comes with me to video, and I always call him my muscle. People immediately crack up.
What? No, they don't. They step back.
Move back.
Move back.
Step back.
I was on the show a few months ago, and there was a call-in about some illegal dumping. Did you guys ever find anything out about that?
I don't even remember that.
It was weird.
Illegal dumping.
I don't know what they were
What were they
dumping.
dumping?
I don't know what. Maybe it was like fracking water or something.
Now that you say that, I remember some kind of water.
Yeah.
But it was a weird one. It's like it was near their land, but it really wasn't theirs or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
So what kind of stuff are you typically taking pictures of?
Oh, yesterday was great. We went out and This guy's been trying to pick up his conversion van. He bought a plain Jane van and brought it to a place to make it into an RV. So he pays them $8,000 up front. He goes to pick it up. He thinks he only owed the $8,000. The guy wants another $4,500. So he called in a couple weeks ago, or actually last week. So we finally get out there yesterday, and I negotiated it down to $2,500. Which honestly was fair.
I think so.
They were both pissed, but we got it done. That's how I knew it was perfectly fair. They were both pissed.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Well, the only part I missed on video, because I didn't think of it, is when we walked back in after I got the guy picking it up to agree to $2,500. I said, you got to go get cash. We're not doing a check thing here. So we had to wait there forever. He goes up to Wells Fargo, comes back with cash. The three of us walk in. I did not have him running the video. The first words out of the caller's mouth when he sees the owner, "You lying little scumbag." I mean, it was great. And I'm looking at him going, I just spent the last 2 hours negotiating this, and you start off literally like this, you asshole.
Because the owner wanted to shake his hand, say, okay, you know.
You're a lying thief. And
then he goes,
So what, the caller was the guy who's trying to get his car back?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the problem is he kept going back to the Colorado Automotive Repair Act, but the vehicle is way over the weight of that. It doesn't apply to it. He had nothing. And it applies to repairs, not to getting someone putting in upholstery and stuff.
Right.
Arguably. I was looking at that last night. I'm not quite sure. Did you ever think about that? Does the Automotive Repair Act apply to, for example, sound audio? You go to get a new stereo. Does it apply to that? They're going to put a new stereo in your car.
You know what, Mark? I actually don't know, but I'll bet you in the it spells it out at the beginning.
I talked to Norris for a while. He says he doesn't know either.
Let's look at the beginning. Usually they set that forth pretty clearly.
Yeah, and they do, and it says it is for repairs. It doesn't say it's for upgrades. I read it 3 or 4 times. Norris and I spoke about it for probably 15, 20 minutes.
So we used to be able to get people's cars back after they were repoed. If you filed bankruptcy before they sold it.
Would you get rid of the repo fees?
You could basically either pay them in a Chapter 13, or if you've been in that car loan long enough, you can just reduce what's owed on it to what it's worth and just pay that. Yeah, yeah. So the part of the law that protects you that stops them from selling it says basically they can't take any property from you once you file, and they can't exercise control over property that is yours that they have.
Which they did.
So the 10th Circuit just came out and said that you can't demand the car back, that they don't have to give it to you, because that's not exercising control. So it's a stupid opinion. That's a minority opinion amongst courts, but it sort of screwed us here in Colorado from doing that. But the funny thing is, my client had OnStar, so he kept checking it, you know, and I'm like, if they move the car, you know, they're exercising control. So if we can't demand that they turn it over, we can sue them for moving the car.
Did you do it?
They never moved the car, and then he was running out of time because he needed to get another car at some point, and I couldn't definitively say this is when you're going to get your car back. So
I wonder if that would have wored, that tactic, though.
I think it would have. I mean, I think all I wanted to do really was just put pressure on them to get the car back. You know, well, I might have filed the suit, but you know, I would have easily settled and walked away just to get the car back.
Wow.
Yeah, it sucks because it's not that big of a deal. I mean, but we pick up a few clients here and there, you know.
Are the courts pretty conservative here, would you say?
Well, that's the 10th Circuit. So that was actually the court that Gorsuch came out of. I mean, I normally think that the circuit courts have good opinions, but
well, no,
when you become
in California, they're overturned 90% of the time.
Right. Well, I mean,
what is the overturn?
I don't know, but I think this case could get overturned if somebody pushes it.
Yeah.
And
what was the minority's opinion? Why was it?
Well, it's basically saying that it used to just be you can't keep it, you got to give it back to us. And some of these dealer types pushed back and said, we just can't exercise control, but we don't have to give it back. So,
I see. So this was really the first opinion around here on it.
Well, it's in the 10th Circuit, but there's other circuit courts have gone the other way. So they really went in the minority, which was you know.
How does it work that way? If you have the 10th Circuit saying this and then other circuits,
they don't have to. It's influential, but it's not binding precedent.
Even if it was 5-1.
It's influential. It's not binding precedent. Another circuit in the 10th Circuit is only influential.
How is that not binding precedent?
It is in their circuit. So for when the 10th Circuit rules, all the Colorado district judges have to follow the rule. That they can't second guess it now. But the 6th Circuit or any other circuit doesn't need to follow. Yeah, they'll look at it, but they're not.
And then if it goes to the next level,
the Supreme Court rules, then all the 10 circuits have to follow.
Is the Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do.
Hi, Tom Martino, your Troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. I'm a consumer advocate. This is our show. Going on 40 years, the longest running show with a continual host the entire time, and the most productive, I think, because we do more than politics and religion, and we just don't do that. God, do you get just so pissed off with people trying to brainwash into what to think on either side of issues. Liberals. I'm so tired. Both. I'm so tired of them. You know, I mean, you hear the dogma one way or the other. We don't really have news anymore. We have no objective news. We don't have news.
Boy,
the cable channels, right. the networks come close. The cable channels, I mean, they're just out and out. In fact, there was an article done in one of them about how some news organizations ignore the facts when it comes to presenting both sides. And it was done by CNN talking, you know, they were talking about Fox, and Fox does it talking about CNN. And really, they're all a bunch of idiots.
I predicted when O'Reilly didn't come back to Fox,
I am just
it's the beginning of their demise. They are now number 3. They
I don't even care about that.
Numero uno to number 3.
I'm just tired of people trying to just push you over the edge and scare you and convince you that one side is nuts and the other side is right, or just anything. All we want to do is help, okay? It doesn't matter what I think of the president or of issues. Now, when it comes to the consumer stuff, when it comes to health care, when it comes to stuff that affects our pocketbook, I'll weigh in on it, and I'll try to help you with the existing laws. We have Mike Wink with us from Wink & Wink. They're bankruptcy attorneys. They also do debt settlement. They're here just to chime in to be helpful. Mike Wink is a member of our referral list. We like to have the attorneys from the referral list in to help us out. Okay, so we left off with Mark saying that he paid $16,000 basically over a period of time, a chunk up front and a couple segmented payments and progressive payments, and then he didn't get $16,000 worth of work. Based on the photos, I agree, but I think some work was done for sure. If they want to cut bait and run, they just have to come up with a fair price. So let's go to the landscaper now. I heard from the consumer, Mark, and we'll go to Ryan. We always pride ourselves in being fair with companies, Stone Falls Custom Masonry and Landscape. So we want to hear what Ryan has to say about this. Hi, Ryan. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Tom. First thing I want to start off with is $3,000 worth of stone just delivered on my price alone. That was 2 semi-trucks full.
Okay.
Over 30 tons worth of rock.
Okay, $3,000.
Right there's almost $10,000 worth of work.
Excuse me, hold on, Ryan, go through it for me. Ryan.
No, because I'm sorry, this guy has been harassing
I want you to go through it with me. I'm trying to help you. Let's stop. So $3,000 in rock. Okay, go ahead. And then what else?
Cost, man. That's not even my labor, dude.
Okay, so how much, Ryan?
That's about $10,000 total just in the rock. Okay?
Do you understand? I'm trying.
Right, and I'm going to explain this right now.
So he's awful persnickety. Hold on, $3,000 in rock, and how much was the labor for the wall?
The labor for the rock alone was another $5,000, so there's $8,000 right there.
Okay, hold on. I'm writing this down, bro. I'm writing this down. Hold on. Now, how much was the sprinkler installation that you put down?
To the point where I'm at, I had $7,500. So actually, technically, he owes me a little bit of money because I also did some paver work in the front of his house.
Ryan, we're trying to help. Ryan, I'm trying to help, and if you're in the right, you're going to come out smelling like roses. You're great. Let me just get through it. Ryan, let me get through it, please.
Let me tell you, dude.
Oh, no, okay, dude, I'm not going to let you. You know why? Because all you're doing is making a speech. I am trying to help you. I want to go through every step of what he owes you. That is what I'm asking. When you can do that, you let me know. Because when people come on and have diarrhea of the mouth, I have a feeling they're covering crap up. We have 3,000 in rock, 5,000 in labor, and that's where the speech started. If you want to give me a list, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, who the hell can get through this? Now, but are you saying he owes you $7,500 in addition to $16,000? I need to know, Ryan. I want to help whoever is in the right. Does he owe you? Are you saying he owes you more?
$2,000 more dollars, dude. I walked away with money still on the fucking contract. What don't you get?
You know what? This guy's a total jerk.
You know what? You're an idiot. You're a moron. You're a vile, disgusting person, and I don't believe you. I think you're exaggerating, and I can just tell by your language. Stone Falls Custom Masonry and Landscaping, you suck. Now, I think Mark probably underestimated your work. Yes, but you're your own worst enemy, you frickin' idiot. You don't yell at homeowners. You don't call them names and walk off the job, you frickin' idiot. Now, when you can talk civilly, you let me know. You don't go swearing. Listen, bud, we're trying to help you. I agree you have some work in this thing, but I can't get a damn sentence out from you without you making a speech. You know what? I'm going to help Mark come after your ass and sue you. How about that? You know, because you leave us no choice. Stone Falls Custom Masonry and Landscaping. If this is how he treats customers, I'll tell you, I believe he probably did yell at Mark's wife. All I want to ask is how much and why. And if you left money on the table, let's get it for you, Ryan. Let's help you. Let's help you. Maybe you take a stab at it, Mark. I'm done. You take a stab at it. Go ahead.
I don't know if I want to bring him back up. Did the delay go?
Take it. Are we back up?
It's not fully back yet.
I mean, the guy doesn't even know how to speak.
You tell us when. Tell us when the delay.
I'd be happy to talk to the dude.
You guys, I think he's really frustrated. He feels really harassed by Mark. I'm just trying to be.
We're trying to help
the mediator.
I didn't even put Mark up. I was letting Ryan speak.
He's so frustrated with Mark.
He can make his speech after we get the facts. That's all we want are the facts.
Let's get another call. We'll come back to him after it builds.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. What a frickin' idiot.
Dude.
You know, I don't mind people being upset, okay? We all get upset. But for God's sakes, you got to understand when someone is trying to get through the crap. I don't let homeowners exaggerate. Now, Mark, I will tell you this, Mark, seriously, okay? You probably don't owe him any more than $16,000. I don't know where this guy is coming up with. You owe him another $2,000. He's trying to say $18,000 worth of work.
He just texted me.
$21,000 or $20,170.
Well, you know what? We need to have our listen. I'm asking for our experts to go out and give an honest to God assessment of that work.
Ryan just texted me. He goes, he didn't even let me talk. My lawyer is calling you.
Yeah. Please let your lawyer call. Please, I beg you, you frickin' moron. You see, they think we're scared because they lawyer up. Hold on. Oh, my God. Did he really say that? Oh, Ryan, please don't call your attorney. Please, please, please. I'm so tired of beating up attorneys. I break a sweat. Don't make me break a sweat. I'm too old for this. I've only won 15 lawsuits and got attorney's fees in most of them. Please don't make me do it again.
What phone number did he text you from? I'm curious.
Here's the deal.
It's his work cell phone number business.
Here's what I'd like, Ryan, if you're listening. You're a moron, Ryan. I would tell the homeowner he is full of crap and help you collect if you can truly just tell me what you are owed. Now, your attorney, you call him and you say, Tom Martino wouldn't let me rant and rave and make a speech. He had the nerve to want me to tell him how much I'm owed. He wanted me to delineate how much I'm owed because he said he would help me get paid. You call that Tom Martino and give him hell. He wouldn't let me talk. He kept asking me, how much am I owed? And what am I owed for? And he kept saying, I want to help you get paid. So you tell your moron attorney the same thing, okay? Dumb and dumber at this point. If you have an attorney who truly thinks anything I've said is wrong, let me know. I will say this, Stone Falls Landscaping has an owner who is a moron, who doesn't know how to deal with customers, and doesn't know how to run a business. How about that? That I'm going to say. That is my opinion. Now, you tell your attorney that too, all right? You tell your attorney that. I love attorneys.
Dude.
Why do people think that I give a crap that they call their attorney? In fact, in some cases, it's a lot easier when you just go straight to your attorney.
I really want to know where he texted her from, just in case he texts me, I know it's him.
Well, I don't want to give his number out yet. Not yet. Listen.
Tom?
Yes.
If you would get someone to come out here and take a look at what he did.
We are.
I'm very reasonable. I'm very patient.
Listen, Mark, we're going to have somebody.
That this guy would come to his senses.
We're going to have somebody come out there. Listen, if it turns out, since he hired an attorney, that's wonderful. We'll sue him. We'll help you go through this whole lawsuit if he is keeping your money. But he is claiming you owe him another $2,000 on top of the 16.
Yeah, but he sounded like Kalen Eccles arguing. He sounds like he's hiding behind some crap, some shyster story.
I would just say that, having been in business now for, we're pushing 10 years, you will inevitably run into people who are not happy for some reason or another, and it is very important for your reputation to stay cool. Sometimes...
Mike, you saying he didn't handle that right?
He's just, there's a reputation involved, and, even if somebody else is totally in the wrong, you don't help your cause by...
In my opinion,
I do not blame him for being upset when you're mentioned on the radio, but remember this. We don't assume that you are a bad guy. Never.
That was a ridiculous response to you, though. Ridiculous.
I said, how much you owe? Dude, I got this effing thing and this effing thing, and, would you want someone like that working at your home?
I wouldn't call that guy
landscaping.
Ever.
Would anyone want a guy like that at your home? What is it? This is what's wrong. These contractors, they know the trade, but not how to run a business. So we're going to teach them free.
It's the Eccles approach.
We're free. Tell them about our small business seminar. It's free.
Oh, man, June 6th, 4 p.m. Everything's free. We're going to have attorneys there. We're going to have people answering what kind of business insurance.
And I want to strip
accountants.
I want to strip out the mystery of digital marketing and how everyone's getting ripped off.
Marketing, you've got to check it. It's all free. Tom and I will be there.
And our experts.
Email.
Did you know Brandon called?
Siglian's coming.
Yep.
Yep. We're going to have
talk
people
about
if you need to lien someone's property, if you need to do this, how to do it, the best way to do it.
Yep.
Free advice everywhere. Listen.
All right, Catherine, hold on.
Sign up at troubleshooter.com. Email me right now. Sign up at troubleshooter.com.
That's the email.
Yeah, sign up
at troubleshooter.com is the email. Sign up at troubleshooter.com. Catherine, did you have Stone Falls do work for you?
They are doing my front yard.
Doing a great job?
Do they call you names?
No, just wait. Are they doing a good job, Catherine?
They're doing an awesome job.
Good. I'm glad, because you never know by talking to this guy, So tell me, everything that he said is going along smoothly? They're doing what they said?
Yes.
How much is the entire contract that you have?
$15,000.
And how much have you paid so far?
About half of it.
And how do you feel so far? Pretty good?
Great. He's done a great job.
Good. That's good to know. And what kind of work is he doing?
He's doing a fence, a gazebo, and redoing my
now is he a little emotional, or do you think we just?
Oh no.
He's pretty smooth and level-headed.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
so you think the response to us? Do you think we just got on? Do you think that's not characteristic?
For him to blow up?
Yeah, it's not. He's just a very...
No, not at all.
Okay, well, listen, Catherine, thank you for adding perspective. I just wish Ryan would give us a chance to help him.
Ryan just had her call in.
You think so?
I know so.
And I sent you a
Come
statement
on.
from
Absolutely.
him, Tom.
He just called her to call in.
Come on. You're saying she's phony.
I'm telling you, Ryan just gave the back line. That was on the hotline.
Called it.
Did he tell her to call in?
I assume she did, because she would have no way of having our backline number, Tom.
Oh,
I sent you a statement.
I'm telling you, he's Eccles. This is Eccles. I think he got into the landscaping business.
He gave her the backline number that he... Oh, come on.
Hey, honey, call in. They're going after me right now. How much was it?
Drew should have played. Oh!
Yeah.
But, and if that guy just considered what the marketing cost, you know, for him was, you know, it's like, what are you doing, man? It'd be worth giving these guys a few thousand just to put it to bed. Yeah.
Well, did you hear the one about Bentley's bath?
No.
You got to listen to this one.
Bentley's bath.
Oh man, George was here.
Well, listen, does he have an email address?
Yes.
I can't believe he didn't walk out.
I've never emailed him. I've been texting on my Google Voice with him. You want me to send something to him?
He basically,
or
a woman on Medicaid,
I can send him a text.
74 years old, she can hardly walk.
Send an email, I'll copy and paste it to the text, because it's all Google Voice. I do it on my website, or on our
They went through
website.
Medicaid. So she's never used it, never once. You can just walk into her and watch her walk, and then look at the tub.
What's Ryan?
There's no way.
Was his name Ryan?
No way.
The guy?
Ryan was the owner.
Okay.
Oh my God, that guy was out of control. That's pretty exciting though. Good. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
I mean, it's, you know, you have that kind of stuff. You show them your bill for your rock.
Oh,
you itemize your time.
Right, absolutely.
And then you could even, if you see that you're not convincing, you could throw them a little bone and go, you know, I'll knock $1,000 off. I'll give, you know, whatever. But I'm not giving you all your money back. You know what I mean? I did the job and I'm showing you why.
Right.
But and then you can't get emotional like that. You have to stay calm.
But leaving it like that.
Oh, he killed himself there. He killed himself.
And then, like you said, I'm not a weed picker. I'll bet you he did say that.
Oh, yeah.
And he let the weeds grow up.
Yeah,
so
no, you have to, you know, sometimes it's hard because people
Are you reading this email from him?
No. Oh, that one, yes.
His dogs are really hurting? What the hell's he talking about?
No. Here this go. That's transcribed.
Oh, okay.
His dogs are really hurting.
He's going through the first, this is the first...
Yes.
Time he's ever had an issue.
No, he's on his first stage, anger.
The next one will be he's going to attack me. He'll attack me.
Oh, or me.
He'll attack you. Wait, now he'll come up with a mugshot.
You're right. You call it. You're right.
So that it's great though. This is perfect. Anger, then attack,
and then reasoning.
Maybe.
We should have got the lady who called in.
Well, hold on. Anger, denial, attack. Or is it denial, anger, and attack?
It's anger and denial.
Denial, attack.
Yeah, anger,
denial, attack. Yeah,
so the email was actually denial, then attack.
No, yes, yes.
And then they usually just shut the fuck up, quite frankly. I really thought Kalen Eccles got into the lawn business for a minute, man.
But I mean, even you know, even then, you guys looked at it and said maybe it was a $5,000 job. You know, I mean, even if he bought $3,000,
I'm not a weed picker.
Even if he bought $3,000 of rock, he's saying he did $13,000 of labor.
He's saying $5,000 in labor for that wall.
Well, he didn't build it yet. He just dumped off the rock. Did you look at it?
Right.
It's not built.
No, it's just rock everywhere.
And that wall is just like he just stacked it up. I mean, you could have some high school kids run that around. I mean, it's like 2 rocks high, in my opinion.
Yeah. All the more reason you must have landscapers on the referral list, right?
And screen your questions and they'll do 0 on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proven through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than
I wonder if Suzanne has the number of the lady who called in, and we can call her back later and see if that's her real name.
Did we not get the one guy on from yesterday?
She was going to do it, but I think she wanted to do this landscaping.
Yeah, this landscaping's good. This is really good.
First, they suck at it, and second, the media is not on their side.
Hey, so June 6th is a small business seminar? June 6th?
6:30.
Yes.
That's D-Day.
What is D-Day? Oh, literally D-Day?
Normandy.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha.
Which day is it?
June 6th.
It's not a holiday, though, is it? Okay, that would be my luck.
All right, Mark is with me, my sidekick here. I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. We have also Mike and Gigi Wink are of Wink and Wink. And, hey, they do bankruptcies, and they do debt settlements. And then, Mark, I want you to go through the stages.
That's what
when
I
we
was gonna
contact.
say.
Go through the stages. First,
So
anger.
right now he's in the anger stage, and that's you know, the cussing, the screaming. Then comes, it always works this way, denial, which he moved to fairly quick. I did nothing wrong. In fact, he owes me more money, the guy says.
Anger, then denial.
Yep.
And then
attack mode's coming up.
That's where he'll take my mugshot.
He'll either grab your mugshot, or he'll find my bankruptcy, something.
Yeah, and he'll say, hey, you know, you're a scumbag, blah, 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 which has nothing to do with this case. And then what?
Well, then generally they go either way. A lot of them disappear.
They either reason and realize that we're trying to help.
That's right. Or they basically disappear.
And go out of business.
I mean exactly that. They disappear.
Or they sometimes actually benefit. They do the right thing and they become friends.
Well, towards the end, yeah.
303-713-TALK. I did not forget Catherine. Where is she?
She's on 6, Tom.
Okay. And she's the one that said that she called her back line. Okay.
Yeah.
So why are we talking to her?
Oh, she was just still holding. I just let you know she was still there if you had any more.
Catherine, Mark said that Ryan obviously gave you the number to call in because no one has this back line. How did you get this line?
I got the number a couple days ago when I tried to call in.
How'd you get the number?
I called because somebody else had said something about Ryan on Yelp.
Oh,
and I just wanted to defend him.
I don't blame you.
I remember you emailing us, Catherine.
So did you give her the number?
I don't remember giving the backline number for that, but I guess I could have.
That's okay. I believe you. If you say you're telling me Ryan did not ask you to call.
That's his girlfriend or wife, I bet.
Stop, Mark.
Thought I heard him talking in the background.
Stop. Catherine, that's not me saying it. I'm just asking you straight. I'm just asking you straight up. Did he ask you to call or did you call on your own?
I called on my own.
Okay, thank you. She called on her own.
Did you hear him on today, the first hour?
Oh, did you hear him,
No.
Catherine? You didn't hear the problem?
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
Listen, the problem has really nothing to do with you if you're having a good job done. All we wanted to do, really, truly, is have him just list,
I got to
owed.
poll everybody in this room over this. Mike, do you think he had her call in, or she just happened to call right after he hangs up?
No.
Honest to God.
I'm not going to call her a liar to her, you know.
I'm not saying to call her a liar.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she just said she did it, wasn't asked.
She tried to call.
God. Dan.
Too big of a coincidence.
Okay, no, I'll
It's
ask her-
crazy.
Hold on, I'll ask her another question. The timing of the call, okay, I realize you got the back number maybe a few days ago, but this particular time you called was right after he got off the air. Was that coincidence, or were you because you said you weren't listening?
It must be a coincidence because he's not even here yet. He won't be here till noon.
So you just called in because you knew we were on the air?
Yes.
Okay. So, guys.
I'm going to start calling you gullible. You've got to be kidding me. There is no way. Suzanne, what do you think? How would he get that number? How would she possibly get it?
I just looked at my emails. I didn't give anybody our backline regarding Stone Falls except for Ryan, the owner of Stone Falls. I just texted it to him after he cussed and we let him go.
And then he texted it to her to call and say how great he is. There's no way it didn't go down that way.
I thought I heard him in the background with her.
Yeah, because it's probably his damn girlfriend. He's another Kalen Eccles. I'm telling you right now, he's a Kalen Eccles. He's an Eccles.
Well, you guys should read the statement he sent. It was a voicemail transcribed.
He's talking about his damn dogs. I don't even know what he's talking about in it.
That's a transcript,
No,
Mark.
it's transcribed.
Read
he
it.
just had
Read
dental
it.
work and a tooth pulled yesterday.
Oh, his teeth are hurting.
That's, I think, what he was trying to say.
Well, my teeth
Mark.
are hurting
I'm
after
trying
having
to
to
be fair
listen to
this
him.
guy.
You know what you guys just did is very malicious. I'm contacting my lawyer right now. He didn't even give me the chance to explain my old site.
No, his high.
his own
I'm just,
side.
all I can do is
Mark,
look at what he's
keep
put.
going, keep going.
He kept cutting me off the whole time. I know I did cut him, but my dog's really hunting specially. This guy can really
that's
spell.
something about getting his tooth pulled yesterday.
He got his tooth pulled. It's transcribed. Go ahead. What else?
So who learned how to transcribe stupid? When
Mark,
somebody starts talking down to me and talking about my work, if we didn't do good quality, I wouldn't be in Home and Garden Show and sponsored by 7 News and stuff. This is like.
Okay, by the way, no one talked anything about the quality of his work. In fact, I think the guy said the quality of his work was fine. Listen, when will Ryan understand? We're not after you, Ryan. We want to see what you're owed. Honest to goodness.
Yeah, after he has this other person call up with the crap.
Kaylin Eccles, anyone who wants to look at sleazebrigade.com, you can see the whole story. We truly tried to help this guy get through this case, and he just thought we were the enemy. And again, he went from from anger to denial to attack, and then to either he's in oblivion.
And let me remind you something about Eccles. Right after we got off with Eccles the first time, remember someone called and said what a handsome man he was and what great work he did. He had his roommate call up, and I tell you, that woman is connected to this moron somehow.
All right. Now, we got to get to the other calls. Jennifer, what's going on with you, Jennifer?
Hi, Tom.
What's happening?
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Thanks, Tom, for taking my call.
Yes, what's going on?
I trust you and I rely on you a lot.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
What's going on?
So what's going on is I need your advice before I move forward on
And
this.
what is it on?
I live in a patio home development.
Yes.
We take care of the grounds.
Okay.
I've only been here 3.5 years. We have a problem with the drainage in the backyard.
Now, is it just your unit or the whole development?
It's my home.
Okay.
And my neighbor has a little bit of it too.
All right, hold on a sec, Jennifer. We'll come to you, okay? Because I can't finish it before the break. But I do want to tell you that drainage issues are difficult, but there are ways to handle them. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal right now. You better get up there. They have the cleanest used cars, trucks, SUVs in all of Colorado, and they're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. Here's the big deal. 40 lenders to choose from. Better pricing with clearly marked prices. If you're going to shop around, and you should, put Rocky's on the list. Product, price, and the process is wonderful. You get better trade values because they sell most of the trades right there. Rocky's Auto, 63rd and Federal, 303-426-4646.
We need to put this clown's number out there, man. He is so full of shit with that woman calling.
But you have to admit, the back line story was more credible than you would have expected off the cuff. That she called in last week or whatever?
Yeah, but where'd she get the number? She couldn't have got the number anywhere. That's the whole thing.
Your wife said she may have given it.
She looked up her email and she never gave it to him.
Oh, well, see, I didn't see that.
That's where it finally
and she doesn't give it out just to anybody. Otherwise, yeah.
Take a note here about
and plus why
Wayne being a server.
Come on, bro.
Here's someone who says, if she called seconds after he had blown up like that, you guys should go buy lottery tickets now because that's a hell of a coincidence.
I agree.
On the back line. Which she just gave to him 10 minutes before. Then if you listen to what she was saying, were you saying you heard him in the background?
She thought she did.
Yeah, she also thought she heard him in the background when she called.
Okay. Well, see, now there's more facts here.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, it sounds fishy.
He's sitting at his girlfriend's house.
Well,
call him up and tell him what a great job I do. Shit, I'd bet anything I got on that, man.
We can call her up and say, let's go look at her, what he's doing.
No, yeah, come on.
That'd be good video.
She'd never acknowledge it.
A big lover of the show and a big lover of you thinks that we're being pretty unfair to Ryan. Regardless, I just said I'd pass that on. He wouldn't say it sounded like George, but he said he wasn't George.
Who loves me?
I don't know. He's like, don't get me wrong, I love you guys, and I love Mark too, but you guys are being unfair to this landscaper. He only gets a few minutes to say something.
Only a few minutes? He fucking asked him 12 times.
So to answer your question, when I picked up the line during break to see if she was still there, I could have sworn I heard him talking in the background, but I can't say for sure it was him.
But there's no way you sent her the number last week.
Mark, I looked at my emails to that lady that emailed us. I just said thanks for the comment.
That was it.
That was it.
So the only way she could have got that back line is because you texted it to him.
Unless I've given the back line out quite a bit through the last few years, unless she had it for a whole different problem.
She said last week.
She said you gave it to her
She said last week that you sent it to her.
Let me look through my emails again.
So
I generally would never give a backline number to say that.
You said, how did you get it? And she said,
I
there was a Yelp review for the same guy.
I'm going to look like an asshole if I gave it to her.
I mean,
No.
No, no way. There's no way.
No way.
No way.
Well, and in general,
This
how
is
often,
lunches everywhere.
In general, how often do you
I'm
get
double or nothing.
do you get a separate client call to defend someone who's
The
on the
second right there, never.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, I can't think of once. The timing was impeccable.
Impeccable. It's impeccable. And I'm not even trying to cause trouble.
God. Man, this is, whatever he uses to transcribe is unbelievably horrible. The garden shows and sponsored by 7 News Am stuff. This is like, I told you, Mr. Mark and his wife threatened my workers and Fred me, Mark Good. This is Don. Okay, this is bullcrap. I shouldn't have to deal with this. Instead of lawyer, my wire will be contacting you.
What did you do to him? What did you guys do to him? You threatened his workers?
No,
that's not me, Mark.
Mark is the owner.
Not me, Mark. Mark
the customer. But how do dogs come in there? But you don't know my dog's really hurt. How's that? Is it teeth? How's dogs go?
I know I did cut, but you know my dog's really hurting. And especially when somebody, my feelings really hurting,
how's dogs get in there?
Starts talking down to me and talked about my work. I don't even know if this is him because I don't see the word dude everywhere.
Right.
And F-bombs left and right.
Dude, listen to me.
Dogs. I don't know how dogs got in there.
Well, you did pretty good with him calling you dude about 14 times. Dude.
No, that was a crescendo. Of all the days I've been here, that was definitely the hottest I've seen Tom.
Oh, you should have seen it in studio when good old George was
George,
here.
I told you, you got to look at that.
Holy shit. Holy shit. You know what's weird is, I can honestly say I was the cool, calm, and collective one. That dude was not moving, though. He was an attorney, we found out, too. Mike, you should have seen this guy.
You got to listen to it.
He was a tongue-twisting little bastard, man.
Yeah.
But he sat there and took it for an hour until we told him to get the hell out.
He was here.
Oh,
yeah,
right next to you.
Yeah, right here.
Oh, my God.
Watch the uncensored version on our video
Tom
on Facebook.
says, if that was my
You're
mom, I was going to kick your ass.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, what do you think? Listen, what do you think? I'm going to go on to other problems, but this thing, we're getting calls, we're getting feedback. A lot of people are saying, why didn't the guy just tell you what was owed? Why did he go off and blabber like that? But there was one, so far, one only, saying we were unfair to him. The guy, we didn't give him a chance. I did. I was saying, look, how much, here's what I do. I want to get certain questions out of the way, the very basic stuff, and then I let people go on and talk. I do, but I like to get some basics. All I was asking is, tell me what you're owed. And he kept interrupting himself. He kept saying, and then I got all this dude, and blah, blah, blah. I said, but wait. I want to help you. Please, just tell me. Okay, you have this much for the rock, this much for labor. Okay, what else? Dude. Okay, listen, I only interrupt to get information or if people are going on too long. I promise you that. I only interrupt to get the basic information. Once I get that basic information, I let people talk, especially if they're interesting. Now, if they go on and say things like, a lot of people will say, well, I first started thinking about I need to do something with these floors, okay? And they're complaining about something, and it starts out like that, and then they want to take us through the entire. At first, I was going to get tile, They tell us the entire story. I sometimes say, like, okay, hold on. What's the problem today? Or where are we right now today? And then I'll ask questions or I'll work backwards, blah, blah, blah.
You're being entirely too nice now. You're forgetting you dropped the F-bomb. You're forgetting that all of a sudden, mid-conversation, he owed him money.
All right, so Jennifer, the HOA, you have a problem with the HOA because the bottom line is you have bad grading. It's making water come towards your foundation, and you want it great. Well, what's wrong with the grading? I'm sorry.
No, it's not coming towards the house. It actually is falling away from the house, and it puddles about 10 feet out.
I got you.
We only have about 15 feet from the house to the fence, and then it puddles and the grass is not growing. Also, I don't know if it matters, but we do back up to a golf course.
Okay.
So we got the golf course on one side, and then we got us. And I'm not trying to be.
Where's the water coming from?
What I should and should not, what they should cover and not cover.
Where's the water coming from?
It just puddles because the drain. It's not graded right.
I'm asking, where is the water coming from? Do you know?
Well, nature.
Okay, so it's rain and stuff like that. It's not a sprinkler system or something. That's what I'm trying to get at.
I don't know 100% because, curiously, the golf course is doing a complete sprinkler renovation.
But my question to you, are there sprinkler heads like right over your fence that come into your yard?
Yes.
Okay.
They're in the area where it puddles, but I'm not sure if it's a leak or every time it rains, it just is.
Yeah, it's probably bad grading.
Pond.
It's probably bad grading.
Yeah.
So your backyard is what size?
I don't know.
Approximately.
From the house to the fence, there's probably about 15.
Okay. How wide is it? As wide as the house?
Yes.
Okay. So you have an area and there's sod and it's puddling. And how old is the townhome or the condo? How old is it?
It's actually a home. And
how old is the home?
I think it was built in 2000. We've only been in the house for 3 years.
No, they're not responsible.
Oh.
Okay, they are initially responsible when they build the subdivision. That's why I kept asking, like when, and they are responsible when they build the subdivision to have not positive, but proper drainage. If they have to submit a drainage plan, has to be engineered, and they're responsible. Once a homeowner moves in, they have to maintain their own drainage. And if homeowners subsequent to the original development changed it, or if nature changed it, the developer or the HOA, neither of them have to come in and redo it. So you, as a homeowner, are responsible for all of those issues. Now, if the neighbors did something to adversely affect your drainage, or if the golf course did something, you may have recourse there. But really, to be very clear, and so you don't waste your time fighting with the HOA,
right.
The HOA didn't do this to you. You bought this home, and this home is old. It's not like it's a new home. They developed that area years ago. And they probably had proper drainage because it was inspected before they were allowed to move on. I mean, that's what, as a developer, I used to do subdivisions. And we would have to do all kinds of drainage plans and get them approved and have retention and have certain plans for sewers. For drainage. What's that? If it's a sprinkler from someone, then you get that someone to correct it. That's what you do.
The sprinklers are maintained, and the yard is maintained by this subdivision.
Okay, so your backyard, you said this is a single-family home, detached.
It's a patio home. No, yeah, it's detached.
Why do they call it a patio home?
What's that?
Why do they call it a patio home? I'm just curious.
Well, maybe they don't. I thought that's what I call it.
Okay. Are they really close together?
Every subdivision has the grounds taken care of, but we all own our own home.
That's a little different now.
Okay.
If the grounds are taken care of, and they have been from the beginning.
They have been.
You know, they would have more responsibility than not. You don't have to pay for that at all, right? That's all in your HOA.
We pay money every month.
But it's for everything.
Care of our yard.
But it's for everything. It's not just for the yard, right?
Yeah, they take care of the sprinkler system, the yard.
Trash?
Yes.
Okay. So in that case, they have a little more responsibility to maintain the subdivision, yes. But I don't know, like, for example, the landscaping, when that original party moved in, they didn't do their own landscaping, right? It was all done for them.
It was all done for them.
Then this is a little different. They would have more responsibility than a normal homeowner.
Well, so how do I go about it?
But I don't think you can. Here's the point I'm making. I still don't think they're going to do anything, because if they have to do any major grading or stuff like that, I don't think they're going to do it. I just don't think they will. And by the time you make them, it would be cheaper for you to have it done. You ought to first, before you do anything, take the question marks away. I tell people this all the time when it comes to complaining.
Okay.
Take question marks away. What that means is, if you go to the homeowners and you say, I need work on my drainage, they might be thinking tens of thousands of dollars. But if you have a solution in hand. And let's say the entire thing would take $600. I'm not saying it will, but then you go to the HOA and say, look, I have negative drainage in this area. It's pooling. Since it's an HOA issue, I know someone, and they say it's going to be about $600 to fix. It's better than having a question mark. So I would get a professional out there to assess your yard and tell you what it would take to fix it first. That's what I would do first.
Okay, but can I interject something?
Yeah.
So what happened, we got these questions out ahead of time here, but here's what's happened is a month ago they did a walkthrough. Each year they do it.
And what is a walkthrough?
They've known about it. But
what is a walkthrough?
Well, I'm sorry?
What is a walkthrough?
They walk through, there's only 19 homes in here, so they walk through everybody's yard and just see how the yards are doing, and they assess it, and they have the association and the management company with them. When they walked through my yard and the landscaper there, they were all there, and they said, we're going to take care of this for you. I'm like, oh, goody, thank you so much. I appreciate it. So that's what was said.
Okay.
Now, just on the May 18th, I got an email from the management company, and they said, where am I, that basically, unfortunately, she said, unfortunately, the HOA will not be paying for the improvements of your drainage. And they gave me an estimate of, you know
how much?
Your stuff, $643.
Okay.
And so
do they want you to pay it?
Yeah, they said if I'm interested in getting it fixed,
they'll do it. They'll do it. But they'll do it.
They will do it, but I have to pay for it.
That's a great deal.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah. For that, here's why. Because once you pay it and it doesn't work, they have to do whatever it takes to make it work. You stick them at that price. They can't come back and say...
Well, they put in a little note, and it says, unless otherwise specified in the work order, all requirements...
Well, hold on. Unless otherwise specified in the work order. So if you agree, yes, I'll go up to $700, and then let them fix it, and if it pools again, you have something to go on. Right now, I don't think... I'm not telling you that you have no legs to stand on. Technically... somewhere you're going to find that the HOA is probably responsible for it, but to get them to do it, because to sue an HOA is using... what I'm saying is ultimately, to sue an HOA, you're fighting with other people's money, and they don't care. Yeah, but I mean, the HOA doesn't care because they have other people's money to use. HOAs are fierce because they don't care, because they don't feel the pain. When you have people who don't feel the pain of litigation, they are sue happy, and they will defend everything. I mean, they go after people for anything. Long story short, Jennifer, I would just pay it. You're not going to get them to do it.
I have to go here real quick. I want to go out to that lady's house, get her address. I want to see if she's real or not. I'll head out there right now. The one with the landscaper that said he's on his way over. He's halfway through the job. He's doing a great job.
That pissed
get
off.
the address. I'm going to go over there.
Somebody emailed saying that she said she wasn't listening to the show. I don't know if that's true that she said that on the air, which would then make her a liar.
She said she was. Why would she be a liar?
Well, she wasn't listening to the show. How would she know to call the back line?
Where does he answer?
No.
Get her address. I'm going to head over there. We'll go Facebook Live over there.
Hold on. Here's what she said. She said, I asked her that. If you weren't listening, why did you happen to call at when you called? And she said it was a coincidence. And Mark said, because Mark brought it up, that she called right after he hung up.
She did.
And she said it was a coincidence.
I want to go out there.
All right, we got more. Okay, then let's do it. By the way, approval reverse mortgages. If you're looking for a reverse mortgage, approval reverse. That's Joan Sullivan. She's the one I trust because I'll tell you why. Reverse mortgages are special animals. They're not good for everyone, but they could be a great retirement tool for some. Ask Joan Sullivan, approvalreverse.com, 303-771-3528.
So I think that's easier because some of them are doubled up.
What do you have? Got something going on?
And cross-referencing for me.
So like not on.
Exactly.
Not on.
These are all.
Well, I don't need to know not on. We just need to know on.
No, that's great. No, it's perfect.
I shared the doc with you.
You'd be surprised how many.
The reason I asked you about you one of the sales people come down and
what's amazing is he go off like that, come back on the radio.
Yeah, Jonathan, I already.
Okay,
I said that'd be all right.
And I said
because Sean doesn't do it.
and I said
You know, off the
that
air,
they're not, they don't even have.
I mean, that guy was out of control,
So I
and
think
that's
you're
the
safe.
problem.
I go, but
You
I'll
know,
double check.
it's like right or wrong, you're losing.
So that's all you need
You're
on there?
losing the battle.
Just put it back on my
by
desk.
your,
Oh, okay.
by your emotions.
I'm gonna head
You know,
out.
you gotta, you know,
Got that.
if you're really owed,
Oh my gosh.
show us the numbers.
Absolutely.
Itemize your labor. Show us.
seeing you.
Yeah.
You guys are acting like he's not a scumbag dirtball.
No, I think
So I didn't hear her say that she wasn't listening
It's
to the
Kalen
show.
Eccles.
She said she
Resurrected.
wasn't listening to the show. I didn't hear that.
Dan, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah,
but
that one
I'm gonna
doesn't
put everything
add
on
up.
your
It doesn't
desk.
add up at all.
Yeah.
He's an older
Did
guy.
you hear him on the air? No.
And your wife said the email she sent never had the
He's in a walker,
backline.
and they want him to go up on.
I'll go out there. If she gets an address, I will be out there. If it's close, I'll leave right now.
And so,
You're
I thought-
calling him.
Plus, he's
I know.
supposed to be there by now, so
I
I'll
thought
get
it
to
would
meet
be
this
fun
guy.
to have him on the
Dude.
show.
I'll be like, hey, dude!
Who cussed?
Ryan
Oh,
from
he did? Okay, I was listening, but I missed that.
Stonefall
I was like, oh,
Land.
Do they have a timer to catch that, or is that just?
Yeah, oh no, that definitely doesn't go out.
Yeah.
But it sucks because it takes forever to build back up.
Yeah. So it slowly, once it stops all that, then slowly it has to build up.
It's very
So
normal.
you mean once they use it, then another cuss could go live?
Right, well, none of that. They got to build up the delay before they'll
The delay
allow.
builds up very slowly.
Yeah.
And so how do they do? What happens while they're building up the delay?
We just can't cuss
Just
because there's no way to get rid of it. That's why I wouldn't talk to him again.
Right.
I see. So it's just
Because
that
if
you
he
guys
came back
talk
on
for
and
a
said,
while.
fuck,
Right.
we couldn't have dumped it.
Right.
Actually, that's not true. I don't know if they both hit it. There's two 10-second delays. But if Tom hit it, which I know he did, and Drew hit it, both of them are blown up. And it takes a long time. I'm assuming both got blown up because it takes at least 2 minutes to rebuild. So, but you're really seeing they truly go through anger just like this.
Right.
Then really the denial is unbelievable. It's everybody's fault.
I just sold a $72,000 car with Rolling.
Oh, would you
The guy
bet?
told me how much he had to spend. He wanted to spend more than it even. Rolly had one exactly that he wanted.
A vet?
Yep. And he colored everything. He texted me. It's a friend of mine on referrals. So then I
Boom.
called Rolly. Boom.
Sweet, man.
He got pissed because he saw one advertised for 75 at this dealership, and it's this one that Rolly's only selling for 72. But when he went there, they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, it didn't include this, this, and this." They got him in there.
And then they were going to okey doke him.
They said it was a mistake on the
What dealership?
I don't know if you told me. Let me think.
So they were willing to come down to 72, is what you're saying? The dealer was?
No, he went to a different place.
No,
Rolling.
no, that dealer said, "Oh, it's going to be more.
They
It was a
hooked him.
mistake on the internet." He has pictures of it on the internet. And then Rolly said, "Shh, we'll do it."
People get screwed on car loans, man.
So
So bad, so often.
I shared the doc
I
with
tell
you.
you
I
now,
told
it's
him
like,
I'm gonna put this stuff in
it feels like everybody I meet
right now, there will
I'm
be
gonna
some-
have
has
I'll
either an auto deficiency
No, I know.
for
I'll
like
be back
10
in the
grand, they're
morning.
never less than 10
Put a
grand,
list together and stuff.
or,
Because they traded in with
yeah,
the
or
balance.
some crappy auto loan,
All right, we'll
You
see
still
ya.
have that huge fat
20%
cat.
interest,
Hey, do you still have your
all
giant
these charges.
I think that's
Yes.
the worst thing with kids.
My big fat
They get in
cat.
the car and
It's
they
like a
get
dog.
behind.
The first time I saw that cat, I about fell over.
How much does
That's
it
the
weigh?
largest cat I've ever
What's
seen
the
in my
weight? What
life.
does it weigh?
Like 30 easy.
No.
40?
Right now, he's probably 20.
So he's lost weight
He
then.
has. Well, he had to. He has
He's like a
diabetes.
small retriever.
It's funny when he lays on his back. his
I thought it was an
legs
English
are
Mastiff when I first looked at it.
You know what? I'm surprised he doesn't bark. He acts like it.
How old is it?
15.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I know. And diabetes.
Do you get shots?
You have
Every
to.
12 hours.
You're nuts.
Every 12 hours. And that little thing of insulin, $275.
You have other cats in the house?
Just a husband.
You got full control over that cat's food. Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK. Man, we've had an action-packed show. Mike Wink is with us from Wink & Wink if you have any questions in his bailiwick of credit and finance and bankruptcy. Okay, so what do we have to take now? I want to take people who have been waiting like Rob. I want to take Rob. Rob, you have a very quick question. What is it, Rob?
Yeah, what are you guys' opinion on Credit Karma, the website or app?
I'm going to ask our man here who deals with
Yeah,
credit.
and
But
then
for
a
what?
quick
You mean for the monitoring or just to check your credit score?
check your credit score. How accurate do you think it is? I just paid off my car, And I checked Credit Karma, and my score on Credit Karma before was like 735, and then I checked it like today, and it like dropped like 9 points because it showed that I paid off my car, and I'm wondering why would it drop when you pay off a car? You'd think you'd get a better score, but
that's weird.
That is.
Well, first of all, Credit Karma doesn't make it up. They just take it and aggregate it. They don't do anything on their own. So whatever that is coming from one of the big three.
And if you should have, and for folks listening, you go to annualcreditreport.org. I think it's .org, or maybe it's .com, but that's the one that's kind of sanctioned by the feds.
That's right. You can get a free annual credit report.
Which one is it? Free?
I think it's annualcreditreport.com.
Now,
it is. I'm looking at it.
Here's what I want to know, though. What does Credit Karma do? Is it a membership?
You know, I don't really know the details.
You know, I really don't either.
They try to, no, you go there, if you haven't pulled your free one for the year, they'll do that, but then they try to upcharge you and sell you other stuff.
For monitoring and all that.
Well, they'll look at your credit, but maybe not give you your score, for example.
I think in general, I like the idea of people having greater access to their credit, right? Because there's a lot of shenanigans that can go on. Right. There's a lot of people who suffer from incorrect entries.
And identity theft.
Yeah, identity theft. So, you know, anything that opens up access.
Here's what it says. With Credit Karma, you get easy-to-read credit reports and personalized score insights. Tools and tips to help you understand your score and take next steps. Free credit monitoring that can help you spot potential identity theft. So that answered my question.
It's a subscription.
But why did you ask, Rob? Are you a member?
Well, it's not a subscription. I don't have to pay to be a part of it. I
think
mean, they do try to...
I thought you did.
They try to get you to sign up for their, here, take a credit card, this and that.
They'll give you the one free one, but then they try to upsell you into whatever.
I'm going to try it. See.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I was just curious because I just saw my score on there went down after I paid.
That's got to have something to do with something else. There's no reason that score should go down like that.
No, there's nothing. I promise you, there's nothing else.
That is too weird to me.
Yeah. On both of them, Equifax and both Equifax and the other one.
Does it show paid? It doesn't show closed. It shows paid, right?
No, it shows closed.
That's bad. That's bad. It's got to show paid in full. They classified that wrongly. You have to contact the creditor and the credit reporting agencies saying it was not closed. It was paid satisfactorily. Paid in full.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
No, that's exactly what it is, sir. No, that's exactly what it is. That you don't do it that way. I'm glad I asked that, Rob. They mischaracterized it.
So that's a check for Credit Karma, right? I mean, they help people stay on top of that kind of stuff.
All right, Brian, what's happening in your life, Brian?
Hey, Tom. Yeah, I'm buying a new home.
Cool.
I'm sorry?
That's cool. I mean, it's exciting when you buy a new home. So what's going on with it?
Well, it's a large builder out of Canada. But anyhow...
Is it custom or is it a track?
I'm sorry?
Did he build one of many, or is it a custom home that he's doing on spec?
No, it's a major development just north.
Okay. So what about it?
Anyhow, they're saying that they would like me to go with one of their preferred lenders and one of their real estate people.
Well, why would you? Do they give you something for it?
Yeah, like cabinet upgrades or something?
Yeah, do they give you anything for it?
Well, no, there's as far as the realtor, because I have a home to sell, so they're saying 2.8% plus $9.99.
Hold on 1 sec, all right? That's a flat fee, because all flat fees charge even the co-op plus the flat fee. So you hold on, we'll analyze it. How's that? I'm Tom Martino. We got more coming up, Brian. It'll just be a few minutes.
Coloradans 62 and old.
Mark, do I need a card to get in the restaurant?
No, it's all open.
Is cash flow tight? Are you
Sounds like a kickback.
Well, they do own their own home there. Then consider a reverse mortgage.
Why would the builder want them to use any realtor?
That pay you monthly by using the equity in your home. They also protect your spouse from possible.
No, I don't understand. Why would that's fine, but why? No, he's already going with the builder. Why would the builder say, hey, use this realtor? For what?
Because the realtor's giving the builder a kickback.
Money, all while owning your home.
Yeah, I guess you're missing me. Why does he need a realtor? He already found the house.
To sell his.
Oh, to sell his. Okay.
years with financial
You don't think that he's not buying directly from the builder?
He's buying a new house directly from the builder. And I guess what Tom's saying is the builder's telling him, use our realtor to sell your other house.
Does that normally happen? You buy it directly from the builder?
Yeah, of course. I would use an attorney if I was doing it that way, but I would not use a realtor. I'd pay an attorney $500 to make sure closing goes good. There's no way I'd pay someone, 2.8% to come to a closing with me.
Manchester police are urging for calm after last night's deadly terror bombing outside an Ariana Grande concert.
Feelings are very raw right now, and that people are bound to be looking for answers. It is vital that our diverse communities that make Greater Manchester such a strong place actually stand together.
Chief Constable Ian Hopkins confirmed 22-year-old Salman Abidi is the man suspected of bombing outside Manchester Arena. They killed at least 22 people.
That would be fun, man. That would be a lot of fun.
Wounded dozens of others. ISIS has
Did you get the bathroom done yet?
No. Police in major U.S. cities are amping up security in the wake of the deadly bombing in the UK. The NYPD tightening security.
So ISIS did claim responsibility.
Yeah, last night.
The UK is the one that I think now half of the population is Muslim right now. I think
it's crazy over there.
That's when that whole Brexit thing. They were so fed up with this whole immigration.
That was one of the big things.
Well, that was it, because if you were part of the union, they could literally come in and out of your country left and right.
It's just like going from Colorado to California.
Yeah, once you're here, you can go wherever you want.
Exactly.
We don't have borders.
That's exactly right.
Now, as I understand,
except for Dan, because you owe that one damn parking ticket.
Well, hey.
As I understand it, he did not get inside. He wasn't inside, right?
No.
Security did his job by screening.
Well, no, it sounded like he blew it up right at the exit when all the people were coming out. I don't think he was trying to get inside. I don't know.
I'm thinking,
He didn't want to buy a ticket because he knew he wouldn't be around.
why wouldn't he want to go inside? I have a feeling that he knew.
You think they kept him out?
I bet you wanted to get it out.
Oh yeah, but he couldn't, or he didn't want to risk it.
He didn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
So he waited for everybody to start coming out.
Yeah, because they were showing footage from inside, and I'm like, I don't see
anything,
any blast area. So it was all outside. The people that died were all outside.
Well, it's kind of right outside.
Right at the end. It was right there. They were coming.
Isn't it still inside, but not in the almost like the part around?
Right. Okay.
I don't know.
I don't either.
But that was a lot of young kids.
I mean, I just went to a concert at like First Bank Center. I mean, you're walking through metal detectors, and I mean that's pretty much common.
I saw
to go into a Rockies game. I mean, all that stuff.
I went to the DNC here when Obama was here. Oh, it was unbelievable, man. They had 3 levels of security. So they had one outside the football stadium, one right before you got in, and then one as you walk in, just like they do for football games.
Right.
We had field passes. It was so cool, man. I will say it was awesome.
It was interesting. And there's I heard an expert saying, if they have dogs around, those dogs can sniff all that explosives from 100, 200 yards away.
Thank God they can.
Your troubleshooter. I'm a consumer advocate who does a radio show going on 40 years, the longest running show with the same host, and I like to say the most productive, recovering millions for you in cash merchandise exchanges, refunds, and services. Let's go to town for you. You know we have referralist.com and sleazbrigade.com. Some new websites coming for different reasons, and we are going to help you any way we can. Now, I just want to say something. Our small business seminar is very important.
God, you scare me. I swear, did you look at me like I was going to jump in with that?
Like I read your mind, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I want to promote it, Mark, because I think
it's going to be so good.
And I swear to you people, there's not one thing for sale here. There's nothing except information. I just want to help our small businesses. Now, you don't have to be on the referral list. Anyone can come. It's free. We're going to talk about how to collect. We're going to talk about procedures. We're going to talk about marketing. And people,
LLC versus S Corp.
The one thing that truly bothers me is how do I want to put this? How people get ripped off with credit card processing, and digital marketing is a big thing right now, and even regular marketing. You know, people blindly do 2 things. They either overspend or underspend when it comes to marketing. Really. Now, Mark, it's June 6th, 4 o'clock. We don't
4
have a location yet.
The only reason we don't have a location,
yeah, we want to go where
where
the bulk of the people are. If more people are down south...
Well, in literally size of the place we're going to
I understand. So please, you got to reserve a seat, and this is all free, and we're going to help you. That's the big thing.
Attorneys, accountants, we're going to have everybody there. And if you're only thinking of starting a business, maybe taking your hobby into a business, it's perfect, or if you're existing.
Now, here's the deal. So many people know the trade, but they don't know how to run a business. Okay, now let's go to Brian.
Hold on. Sign up at Troubleshooter.com. You have to email us for that. Sign up at Troubleshooter.com.
By the way, we're live everywhere with iHeart. Don't forget the iHeart app. We're also live, of course, on Facebook and YouTube. We've been getting a massive digital audience, which I'm really happy about. So thank you for joining us. We left off with Brian. And Brian was bought a home in a development, and they said, hey, you should use our real estate person for a flat fee, $9.99, plus the co-op, of course. All flat fee realtors, by the way, they pay a co-op. So when somebody else is involved, you pay the flat fee plus the co-op. They said you should use our own real estate guy and our own lender. Why would a builder do that? Well, they have relationships. They either make sure the job gets done. They might have a way of compensating, too, for customers. And it might go two ways. If people want to get pre-qualified, they may send them over to the home builder. So here's the deal. It's not so important why they do it, but is it a good idea? And the answer is, it depends, Brian. So, Brian, how much is the house, by the way?
$550.
And how much are you financing?
50% of it.
Okay. Now, on a deal like that, I say you shop it. I mean, do you use their lender? Maybe, but you shop it. It's like any other lender. Oh, thank you, Mr. Builder. If you are offering your lender, now tell me, what are the incentives? So I'm asking you, and I'm going to bring up Frank Duran, the real estate man, to listen as well, since he's an expert. So let's do it, Brian. Why use their lender? What are they offering you?
Let's see. They're offering me a maximum of $1,800 towards closing costs.
Okay. What else?
I think that's about it.
Okay. Shop it. Shop it. Because whenever you are given an incentive like that, it's coming out somewhere. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad deal, by the way. There are many times you should go with a preferred lender if they give you deals. There's nothing wrong with it. So what I would do is I would call some of the lenders on my referral list at referralist.com. Ideal Home Loans would be a good one. I don't know. Is he coming up? Are we going to get... You know, and they'll give you quotes, and that would be one.
Are you looking at a 15, I assume?
I'll probably do a 30 and then pay extra on it, as though it's a 15.
That's interesting. That much down, and you're going to do a 30.
Yes.
I would really look at that.
What's wrong with that?
I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. But
maybe less down and do a 15.
There's different ways there.
Well, of course. That's a really good idea, especially if you get a lower rate. You should, but whatever you shop, you shop the same loan to different people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, or if someone has a special program and the other one doesn't, that's fine too. But I would shop it. So the answer is, when it comes to the lender, I would simply say, thank you, I want to shop. And you can get pre-approved. You can do anything like that with any of our, well, not any of them, but I mean, Ideal Home Loans does it. And you can go we have other good lenders on the referral list as well. So I would do that. Now, next question. What about their real estate person? Now, obviously, you don't need a real estate broker for this transaction with the home builder, right?
Right.
Okay, so they're just talking about listing your home to sell it. Now, one of the reasons they might do that is because they want to make sure this home is going to close, so they want to make sure your home sells. So what did they offer you? The $9.99 plus any co-op, right?
$9.99 plus 2.8%.
Yeah, which is the co-op. So your question is, should I do it? Well, Frank Duran, the real estate man, what do you think? I mean, you've probably heard this before. People go to a builder, and the builder says, hey, use our preferred real estate broker. What do you think, Frank? I mean, just straight up, what do you think?
Hey, guys, just like shopping lenders, you want to shop around for real estate brokers, okay? Because it's not based on the fee that a person says. The final outcome is the most important thing.
Brian, at minimum, please, just call Frank, sit down with him, just talk to him, at minimum.
Yeah, what area of town is the house you're selling?
In Wheat Ridge.
And what's the price range?
Probably about 525.
Okay. So why are you moving? Curious. I'm just curious.
Well, it's an older home, and
you want to upgrade?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty exciting. How are Frank, how are sales going up there in that price range, 525 Thornton area? Did you say
Wheat
Ridge? I'm sorry, Wheat Ridge. What's that, Frank?
Oh, I was saying we're getting it moved. I just put one under contract here a few weeks ago. Got a great price. So they're definitely moving. And, you know, the thing is, I would definitely recommend shopping around, talking to some brokers. You know, Tom, I took one where they came at us with 9 inspection items they wanted fixed, and we were able to negotiate it down to one thing, which didn't cost my seller anything. So it's not always who can offer the lowest fee. The issue is the final outcome.
Well, yeah, that's a whole part of it.
So, Frank, when you're talking about a commission, out of the what do you charge, 6 or 7? What is it usually?
You know, it really depends on the situation.
What's standard in the industry?
Usually between 5 and 6, Tom.
Okay, and so let's say it's 6. What goes to the selling broker, the one that brings the customer?
Yeah, so 2.8 will go to the buyer agent typically, 3.2% typically to the list side, and then whatever their costs are, however that's divided up.
So if you have then the lister would get okay. So 2.8 would go to and 3.2 then would go to the
list side.
To the list side. So if 3.2 goes to the list side on a $525,000 sale, 525 times 3.2. For those of you doing it in your head, screw you. 16,800, and they're offering $999. Now, Frank, I just want to ask you straight up. First of all, I want to say this. I have nothing against flat fee real estate, and I think in some cases it's a great solution depending on the situation. I think in other situations you might miss out on someone who works their ass off and can get you way more money. For example, Mark Major, if he had gone with a flat fee, and there's nothing wrong, there are some really good flat fee people.
I disagree with you, but keep going.
But if Mark disagree that there are some good flat fee realtors?
I have never had one relative that has used a flat fee that didn't end up going with somebody else because it sat there, it got stale, and nothing happened.
Okay, but that doesn't happen with some of them.
Okay.
You know, obviously. But I want to say this. In a hot market, sometimes it sells in spite of them, right? But Mark Major, if he had used a flat fee realtor, would have lost money. Wouldn't you?
Oh, all day long. Are you kidding?
Even paying Frank, you would have lost money. I mean,
all day long.
So
all day long.
So you cleared way more paying Frank.
He had the trick was he had numerous people ready to buy, and created a bidding war at the end. And
he does that with that secret system.
More.
Man, I'm telling you, it's crazy how he does it.
I got more than what we were asking for
on purpose.
On purpose, and then on the other side, which doesn't matter to this guy though. He negotiated it down quite a bit. Now, I was lucky because I could put a lot down, but other than that, he saved me a ton of money.
Brian, I'm going to tell you this. Mm-hmm. There is no debate when you pay a flat fee on the list side.
Right.
You will always pay less than if you pay a full commission. However, you will probably not make as much.
Okay.
Now, did you hear what I just said? You will pay less, but you probably won't make as much. That's a big weird kind of dynamic. Okay, because as Mark said, I don't believe that they don't get sold, otherwise they'd be out of business. We have a guy on the referral list does flat fee. He does a great job for people. But I contend that there is more incentive when you're making a piece of the deal.
I got to say this. Is Frank still up?
Yeah.
Okay, so, hey, Frank, you sent a guy out to put that weird 3D camera all over. A guy came out with a drone. You listed it here, Realtor.com, Zillow, house cleaning, everything. How could possibly any realtor in the world do all that and advertise it for $999?
Frank, can I say something? I want to ask you straight up. Absolutely. For all of that marketing that you do free, all of it, before it even hits multi-list, can I ask approximately what that would actually cost someone to do? How much?
Actually, Tom, when I just put on the market the other day, we've already put $1,000 into it before it even hit the market.
Okay, so somebody making $999, they cannot put $1,000 into it. They can't.
That's true.
They won't.
I'll tell you too, Tom. I always say there's no substitute for drive, discipline, passion, and experience. You cannot put a price on that.
Okay. But I'm also saying that there are some cases, Frank, that are slam dunks. They're going to get a certain price. I think there are cases where a flat fee could just do it. And I wouldn't even put it past Frank in those cases for him to negotiate that if he feels that way. In certain cases where it's not going to get a lot of money, or it's not going to get the big bucks, it's going to be a quick sale, and it's going to be down and dirty. There are some cases, and I can't ever say there's never a case to use a flat rate. I can't honestly say that. I don't know how you feel, Frank. Again, we don't rehearse these things. How do you feel?
I just know what we put in, Tom. And I'll tell you, there's been times where we have negotiated with people to certain situations where we're able to do kind of a certain, maybe like a special fee for them to try to help them.
You know, Brian, the secret sauce is this. Frank, I don't even remember the number. How many people looked at my Castle Rock house on that virtual tour in the first week?
You know, Mark, I think we had over 70,000 views, if I'm not mistaken.
70,000!
All right. Now, Frank Duran, the real estate man, of course, is 303-920-1622, 920-1622. Now I want to ask Brent Ivinson as far as the mortgage goes. Brent, why do builders say go to our preferred lender? What is your experience? Did they get a fee for that or what?
Well, what they typically do is they have a lender that is an in-house lender of theirs, and we just came across this very instant recently in our office where the builder was offering $10,000 in incentives if the buyer used their mortgage company.
Okay.
Now, when we looked at this, when you really looked at the loan estimate, they were charging this buyer $4,000 to get a rate that we would have offered at par. So when you really looked at the true math, it was more around the $6,000 mark. And when we started to look at some of the other fees involved, it diminished even further, and the buyer ended up saying, no problem, I'm going to go my own route with financing. I'm not interested in the freebies you're giving me, and it ended up being a better deal. So you really got to put pen to paper, because oftentimes they are charging you an origination fee for a rate that if you shopped around with a number of lenders, you could get at par, and that eats up a majority.
Didn't you tell me at one time, you said whether it's a free appraisal, whether it's a discount, whether it's whatever it is, it's going to come out somewhere.
Right. Absolutely. It's like when you hear someone advertise, we have absolutely no fees on your mortgage, you're paying a higher interest rate. That's where they're paying for those.
For sure. So, okay, so how does this guy shop then? So how does he shop then? When he's going to shop lending, he just shops the bottom line, right?
Yeah, he's got to shop the bottom line. He's got to take a look at what they're charging him for what rate and what incentive he's getting from the builder, and then compare it to an outside mortgage company and see what the math is, and then you can really determine how much am I truly getting, and oftentimes it's not nearly as much as you think.
And then also when it comes to terms, do most lenders do what you do?
In terms of custom terms, or in terms of...
No, custom terms.
Yeah, no. That is something that a lot of people do not offer. That is something that...
How does that work?
So the way it works is whatever you need. You know, and we're finding this now is working on the buying side for people too, where we've got people that are moving down, empty nesters saying, hey, I'd like to move down. I don't need as much house as I've got, but I need it paid off in 12 years. Well, we can give them a 12-year mortgage so that they're paid off in 12 years, and then they can retire. And they don't have to worry about a mortgage payment, because that is the largest expense most people have.
And they can pick any term if they want, 18 years, 23 years, whatever it is.
Yep, absolutely.
24 years, okay. And all they have to do is call them. Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan, 303-867-7000. That's 303-867-7000. Online, idealhomeloans.com.
This report is brought to you by Alaska Seafood.
The highway drive in the metro area looking pretty good for the most part. Stalled vehicle on the north end on southbound I-25 approaching 100.
Nice. Which one's Sharon talking about?
Did you?
I got it on. I got it on.
Nothing but bag.
Yeah, right.
Mark!
Yeah, I got it. Watch it on Facebook.
Oh, was it online?
It was online.
Did you get it online? Yeah, nothing but bag. See, look. How'd that happen, Mark? If it comes out, that means stuff can go in.
It's almost like someone put a hole in it.
15. I need healthier.
Weird.
Pick up
You guys remember. He's right.
It can come out.
Right? Somebody just died from nacho cheese botulism.
Nacho cheese. Not your cheese.
Definitely not my cheese, but
Not your
botulism.
cheese.
Still the world's finest fitness equipment, like True Fitness, for over 36 years manufacturing the best treadmills, ellipticals, and stationary bikes. Created the quietest and smoothest on the market. True carries the best warranty in the industry.
I wish that lady gave me the address.
30 years on motors. And Tough Touch Transport, which has been in business for 46 years. All Tough Touch carries a life.
Oh, it was impossible. There is no way, man. It just drives me crazy that any of you believe that shit.
Be quiet, you.
My God.
Sometimes
He gave Kalen Eccles like 48 chances.
You're trying to take my troublemaker.
This dude was so psycho. He'd come on and he'd come on nice. Next thing you know, he's a lunatic.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable.
Not once, not twice, probably
3 times.
Fitness Gallery, getting Colorado in shape since 1997.
Let's talk about art. When you're doing countertops, yes, art. Art of granite, but it's also art of countertops and art of cabinets and art of kitchens. That's Mitch Floria and the Art of Granite. He started this company in '03, $300 in his pocket. True story, okay? He started learning the business, went off on his own. After landing in New York City, he took a bus to Denver. Then the rest is history. He built this to a beautiful company. He had a theory here. I'm going to do all the materials at wholesale, and I'm only going to pay for the installation. You're only paying for the installation and for the fabrication. And I'm going to use only employees. Of course, in the beginning, it wasn't like that, but now only employees. And I'm going to look at each and every job and supervise it. Then what they do is get the best granite or solid surface they want anywhere, or stone, on my wholesale account, or they can buy from me. I'll tear out and haul away all the old stuff free, and I'm going to throw in another freebie. If you do the kitchen with me, I'm going to do the bathroom free. He also does cabinets direct from the manufacturer. It all starts with a phone call. He can give you a pretty close estimate based on measurements or some photos. And then when you like that, you go see him in Golden and pick out the specifics. Then he templates and does it all within, what, 1 to 4 weeks, depending on the job. 303-386-5919. 303-386-5919. Open 7 days a week and also serving the mountain communities.
Bill O'Reilly on the Glenn Beck program.
How'd you hear about you being let go by Fox?
My attorneys told me, and we were all shocked. I'm not going to say any more than that, because I had 20 good years. It's their prerogative. They can do whatever they want. So if that's what they felt was best for the company, I'm not going to hammer them. I trust the audience's instincts because they've been with me for so long. Yeah. People know that the left-wing media hates Fox News and hates me. I mean, that's been 20 years.
The Glenn Beck program, weeknights at 7 on 630 KHOW.
When you're injured and it's someone else's fault, what does our system of justice say? They say you have to pay. You know, in the old days, if you maimed or hurt someone, you had to actually do work for them. You had to make up for what they lost. Now, nowadays, what you get is what they call just compensation. That includes pain and suffering, loss of quality of life, loss of actual material things, loss of vacation time, whatever it is. John Fuller is your attorney to help you not only evaluate the case and put a value on it, but go after it and know where to go. Most of the time that's fighting with insurance companies, and he is very, very well versed at that, and also collecting from others as well. John Fuller, Fuller Law. Traffic accidents? Call him. Any other kinds of problems? Call him. If you feel you've been injured, no fault of your own, John Fuller, Fuller Law. If you even have a question about it, he'll give you an honest evaluation. Maybe it wasn't someone else's fault, but at least find out before it's too late. JohnRFuller.com, 303-597-4500.
Race to Erase MS has teamed up with Grammy Award-winning and Oscar-nominated singer-songwriter Saida Garrett to help.
And how am I on those?
Multiple sclerosis.
Do I need a few?
I'll send you some.
Okay.
In fact, you know what? I'm just going to send you everything for the day.
Cool.
To learn more and to help support those affected. All right, 5 seconds. Flex it in. Saida Garrett song at erasems.org.
Wow. This state gets hit with more hail than probably any other state.
And when it comes to cars, you got to be on top of it. Don't spoil the value of your car. Don't ever get anyone that drills and fills. Ever. Now, if you have no damage to your paint, get paintless dent repair from Flexident. On my referral list for years. Nick, the founder, the owner, is master certified as a paintless dent repair technician, and all of his techs are highly skilled and certified. So whether it's hail damage or even minor door dings, minor dents, anywhere where paint is not damaged, you can call Flexident. If there's a question, call them, because they'll let you know by looking at it or by just looking at a photo from your cell phone. 303-619-6273. Multiple locations. 303-619-6273. It's already a great value compared to drilling and filling. But here's the deal, okay? If you mention me, Tom Martino, you get an extra $500 off the big jobs. 303-619-6273. FlexidentColorado.com.
As school lets out and kids celebrate the summer, this is the
place where the learning never stops, and neither does the conversation.
I believe in lifetime learning.
Denver's talk station, 630 KL.
Hi, Tom Martino here. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255.
Hey, Deputy and Dan negotiated something yesterday.
Yeah, let's talk about that case. I'm going to put it up on the site in a little while. Go ahead.
Yeah, so this guy called in. He was picking up his Sprinter van, another Sprinter, not the big Sprinter case we got going. But he dropped it off at these folks, or at these people's place, to get customized, to basically turn it into a camper. He goes to pick it up. He thought the price was going to be $8,000. The guy wanted an additional $4,500, and they were.
Why did they do that?
You know, it's so weird. If you look at the paperwork, some estimates were $17,500, some were $9,000, some were. They had, neither of them had any paperwork that matched the other ones. They changed it so much. According to the shop owner, this guy would show up with his own parts and want him to install stuff to subtract it. So, for example, he'd show up with his own little mini refrigerator to put in instead of buying it from them. But none of them kept track of where it was and how much it was going to. But anyhow, after a while, we finally got it, I got it negotiated down to $2,500. And you know how I know, Tom, that it was a good mediation process? You ready?
Wow.
Because they both hated the deal.
Oh, wow.
They both hated it.
Yeah, but you saved that guy a lot of money.
Saved the caller $2,000. We'll have that story up. It's pretty good.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, what's going on? Let's find out from you. We have Mike Wink with us from winkandwink.com. And Shandy has a comment on Credit Karma we've been talking about on and off. Go ahead, Shandy.
Hi. I just wanted to let you know I've used Credit Karma for several years.
You like them?
Yeah.
Cool.
They seem to. I mean, I have never paid anything at all.
Really?
I haven't gotten many sales things either.
Wow.
So
that's unbelievable to me.
But they don't actually give you the FICO score, right?
Yeah, they do.
Well, I don't think so. But
I thought they did.
No, they don't give you the score.
It's pretty close. And, well, you know, like.
The screenshots they have, Mark, shows all three of them.
Did they give you the detail on the credit report?
No, they show you the TransUnion. They show you their own. They don't give you the actual
they show
FICO.
You Experian and TransUnion. We just did this with my sister last week.
They show you the other credit reports, though. Their FICO.
Correct.
Credit report. It does say credit report.
Yeah, they don't actually give, though, the actual FICO score. It's still, it looks like it's good, though. I'm not arguing with it.
Mark, look at the screenshot. They are giving the FICO score. See, each credit agency gives you a FICO score, and they give that to you.
Here's one of the main things. What is the catch to Credit Karma? They don't provide you with the FICO credit score. They provide you a TransUnion TransRisk credit score. You'll note that there is very little, if any, documentation on some of the other ones.
I don't understand.
That's what she's saying. It's very close, but it's not your actual FICO.
Well, who does give you actual FICO? Does TransUnion?
Yeah, but you got to pay for it.
Okay, well, in any case, what if you paid Credit Karma? Would they give you FICO?
Don't know the answer.
All right. Thank you, Shandy. She's used them for years, she says. Okay. Laura, what's going on with you?
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
Appreciate you taking
Thanks.
my call.
What's going on with you? I'm sorry. When did your husband die?
My husband died December of 2015. We were married 45 years.
Wow.
We got married at 18 and 22.
Oh, my goodness, Laura. I'm so sorry for you. And
yeah.
What have you been doing since?
Good guy.
What have you been doing since?
Well, I was working, and then the business that I work for, they ended up closing down 2 years ago, and the building was sold.
Do you have kids?
I have a daughter in Littleton, a son-in-law, and an 8-year-old grandson.
Well, that's good.
And I have a lot of good friends.
Yeah, are you going to just stay put, or are you going to, like, date? What do you think? No?
No, after being married, monogamous couple for 45 years, no, that's
kinda weird.
Not in my cards.
So what's going on with this debt?
I ended up where, we paid off medical bills, or I did, when my husband passed away. And I got a call a few days ago through Bank of the West, this asset recovery. And
yes.
It was, I won't name this lady. She's out of San Ramon, California.
Yes.
And so I talked to my bank. Is this legitimate?
It's a collector for what? What are they trying to collect?
What they're trying to collect, or they want me to send a letter, was the fact that my husband had one credit card in his name only. My name was not on it.
Yes.
And I have been told by a friend of mine that's a lawyer that I should not be responsible
No, you're not.
for that.
You're not. Why, are they saying you are?
Well, this lady, what she wants me to do is send a letter.
Yeah.
She said to close out the account.
Saying what?
That states that there are no more assets left available.
No, you're not going to do that.
To pay the bill.
You're not going to do that.
I asked her, and she goes, "Mom, please don't."
First, I want to ask you this: were there assets in his estate?
Well, here's the thing: we did not have a will.
I'm not asking that. It doesn't matter. What were there assets in his estate? Did he die penniless?
I had a 401k that got transferred to Bank of the West and put. I didn't even see the money. Got put directly into an IRA.
For you?
Yes.
How much? How much?
Right now, it's right around $70,000.
Okay, and then what else?
I have a little bit of cash in the bank. That's
no, but did he have any? I'm talking about his estate. Did he have any assets?
No.
Other than that, did you have?
Other than we owned the home together.
Together. Okay. So we'll talk about who's responsible for what and what you were supposed to do when it came to his estate, because people think they don't have to pay out, and they do if there are debts that are known and claims made. It sounds like there were no claims made, so that's what we have to find out. 303-713-8255. You know, we love recommending people that we use and we believe in. Pro Auto Care is one of them. I use Al Aramis's Pro Auto Care for my auto maintenance and repairs. Now, of course, I use Purifoy Chevrolet. They provide me with beautiful cars. I buy beautiful cars. I have a leased Traverse with them, and warranty work I get done. But routine with Purifoy, but routine stuff, I go to Pro Auto, and they're just great. They even help me on a roadside assistance thing, and that's the thing. They give roadside assistance free in between all repairs if you're a customer. You're like in their family. They also give you reminders on regular maintenance. They estimate your mileage. They have the software that sends out reminders. I love it. They keep track of my car for me. Pro Auto Care. 2 locations near Evans and I-25 and near Bowles and Santa Fe. Give them a call. 303-PRO-AUTO. 303-PRO-AUTO. Now, the website is 303proauto.com and also on my referral list at referralist.com.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
Yeah, they actually use a completely different model.
There's a couple of trouble
FICO is completely different. There's a lot of people that say, hey, my FICO was 700, but then my other ones were either higher or lower. It says they're never the exact same.
There's so many credit cards now that offer that for free.
I know, that's how I get mine, Capital One.
Capital One, Discover, almost.
I can watch mine?
Directions of I-70 and then that's what Springs.
If I charge a lot in 1 month before my credit card's paid off, you can actually see it go down. And then the second you pay it, I'll see a 20, 30-point bounce. It's insane.
K how?
Is your personal info for sale on the dark web?
Yeah, I don't really monitor mine as well, probably as I should.
Mine I do just because Capital One, every time I log in for my statement to go through everything, it's right there.
LifeLock.com. Use promo code RISK, save 10%.
What? That didn't sound good.
No, somebody I know in the top area gets cancer. Just somebody I know.
Guaranteed for life and endorsed by me. Hi, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, and I know.
So should I do this banner for the small business seminar like that?
Yep. In fact, put it up right now. That's a good idea. Not a bad idea. Homesickle.
Homesickle.
Not sure. It's a dude. Dude! Give me some. Dude, let me talk, dude! Dude!
He owes me money.
Dude owes me money, man. Just because I'm not finished doesn't mean the dude doesn't owe me money.
Let's do Plumline.
Boy, I would have loved to heard how he owed him money, though.
Because he's not a weed picker.
It would have been that funny math.
Weed picker.
She wants me to pick. The only weed I pick's my own.
Annual powwow, Saturday, June 3rd, 10 to 4 p.m. is a kickoff to Tesara's Living History Experience Weekend. Go to tesara.org or call 391678.
Who do I call for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains? As I say, I wouldn't have them on the show if I didn't use them. Plumbline Services, they did a
Water heater for me. I love using Plumline, and I love them for the free second opinions. Yes, I still get second opinions. When you have a major problem, they will give a second opinion with no call charge, nothing. You get a free diagnostic, and yeah, they want to take a shot at their business, at your business, but they'll tell you if you have the problem or not. I also love their the $39 furnace check to see if it's running, and the air conditioning check now, of course. And if it's not, they have half off the AC system. That's half off with the purchase of a furnace. You get the whole shoot match, 0% financing, 12 months, plus utility company rebates over $1,300 and a 10-year parts and labor warranty. Yeah, I love all that with the $39 check. So if you're coming up on the heating season like we are and you're wondering about your AC, have it checked for $39. But I also like their 93 or free drain thing. So see, they have all of these services. And that 93 or free means they'll clear your drain for $93 or the call is free, but they give you a complete diagnostic of what's wrong. So no matter what, you're going to find out for free what's wrong with your drain or get it cleared for just $93. That's plumlineservices.com for plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. Call them for any need. 303-586-1086. 303-586-1086.
Nothing is more important than your health. Hi, I'm Donnie, owner of Fitness Gallery, where we sell the world's finest fitness equipment, like True Fitness, for over 36 years manufacturing the best treadmills, ellipticals, and stationary bikes. Rated the quietest and smoothest on the market. True carries the best warranty in the industry. 10 years.
So you don't want to put a phone number down for the small business seminar, strictly
business for 46 years.
The email.
Say that again.
You don't want to put a phone number also down. Just sign up at Troubleshooter.com.
You got
it.
Sign up at Troubleshooter.com. Colorado lives for over 20 years. During our tent sale going on
20.
Nationwide lowest prices. There's not a better time to invest in your health.
Are we going to end up going out to that Monk place?
Off I-25 and 58th
Monk?
Yeah, Suzanne was talking.
Texas. That's Texas.
Oh, shit.
Shopping Center at University and C470. Check us out at fitnessgallery.com. Fitness Gallery, getting Colorado in shape since 1997.
If you've been drinking and driving, you're an idiot. And I'm surprised you didn't get caught. What about smoking marijuana and driving? There's no reason ever to get a DUI or a DWAI. There's no reason. You can use a designated driver. You can use a friend. You can use, Uber, Lyft, taxis. Here's the deal. It doesn't matter how many times I say this. People still underestimate how much they drank, or they don't think they're drunk, or some people just don't care. For those, I don't really care about. But the ones who, find themselves in a pinch and you need help, Joseph A. Lazara is a defense attorney. Obviously, it's something you can prevent. If you are accused and you think you're innocent, even if you're flat out guilty, no matter what it is, you need someone to get you through this system. It'll turn your life upside down without help. Joseph Lazara, 303-429-6200. Of course, he's a criminal defense attorney for other offenses as well. 303-429-6200.
Around here, the conversation never stops. Never. We're not kidding. 630 KHOW, Denver's talk station.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-8255. So we had a caller call in and say they found a drone on Sunday near the Platte River and Evans area. I lost it. It just so happens she found my drone.
I wonder what kind it is.
It's a really nice one. They said they took it to a hobby store. They said it was a really nice one in great condition.
It's mine. Here's the deal, though. What do you do with a drone and no transmitter?
Well, you should, depending on the model, they should be able to plug it in and charge it, and then if the guy happens to be on a certain app or the gal that flies it, you can hit "Where's my drone?" and it'll tell you. But if it's dead and not charged, it can't do that.
So what do you just toss it in the air and let it go?
No, you plug it in, charge it, and turn it on.
But if it's not yours, you don't have a plug.
No, usually they're...
It's a USB.
Yeah,
you can get
it's just USB.
It doesn't matter. They're usually 12 volts. You just plug it in. I mean, a lot of people think that matters. The only thing that really matters is voltage. The wattage, I mean, yeah, it's just how fast it's going to charge.
I'd like to know what model it is.
Yeah, find out.
Want to have them email us, Tom?
Do you want to take it? Do you want to claim it?
No, I want to know what model it is.
I can ask. I have the
now,
caller's number.
Well, how are we going to know the real person calls us?
Well, because if they say
they need
nice,
the transmitter.
It doesn't mean anything. I mean, they don't know what... I mean, I don't know if it's an expensive drone or not.
You love drones, don't you?
I love mine. I'm going to fly it over at your high-rise.
It's a hobby, isn't it? It's a hobby. You don't really use it for business yet.
No, I don't use any of it for business. I mean,
can you? I
like flying it.
If you fly it and you tag something to follow.
Yep.
Will it truly follow it?
Yeah, I could actually...
At the same altitude?
I could technically go down I-25 and have it follow me.
Okay, but how long will that go on?
God, my batteries are good for about 28 minutes.
And then what will it do if it's running out?
It will go home, which I've never tried it while I'm driving. Because it doesn't know where home is.
No. It would go home to where it took off, right?
Yeah, that's true, wherever we started. So actually, it would probably only go 14 minutes down the road with me and calculate how far it is from home and say, I got to go home.
I would love.
That's funny. You know what you'd have to do is you'd have to override it to say, don't go home no matter what the battery level is, which you can do.
Well, why? Then it would just crash, right?
No, then you'd have to land it before it ran out of battery
if you didn't, it would just land.
Yeah. I bet I could bring it up and down out of my sunroof going down 25. I bet I could.
That would be crazy.
It would be weird.
No, the wind's coming at it. If you just popped out of the sunroof, that would be weird. You'd have to slow way down.
Well, you'd have to do it at night where there's no one around.
I'd like to, man, they're just so intriguing to me. 303-713-8255. Anyway, if you lost a drone, Evans and Platte River area, what you can do is email us live at troubleshooter.com, and we will give it a pass.
And once again, some of them, if you just plug in and let them charge, they'll hit the internet in your house, and if the guy's looking at his receiver, it'll all come together.
He'll know where it is.
He'll know where it is. He'll know wherever it's parked.
Wow. Gerald.
Yes, sir?
You have a comment on Credit Karma. What is it?
Well, the comment is simply, yes, it doesn't do FICO in the sense of what a bank does, but when I enrolled in it years ago, it only tells me when something negative or positive happens. And in my case, that's what I'm actually looking for.
Yeah, it sounds like a great product. It just doesn't give you a FICO score. If that's what you're trying to figure out,
does it give you tips on getting rid of bad stuff and all that?
It does, and I have not paid for a single thing.
Okay, well, that's cool.
And here's their business model. I just read about it. They show you ads while you're on it, so they don't try to sell you other products.
Right. By the way, this email, who was on yesterday, I was told my kids don't need braces anymore. Okay, it's called NEO, New Early Orthodontics, just to let you know, okay? It's not that they don't need braces. They use these mouthpieces. They're called Myo braces, and they're soft. I don't mean really soft and mushy, but they go in their mouth at night and they sleep with them. And you get them early enough, it can actually widen the palate and straighten teeth without braces. About 50% of the cases don't ever need braces at all, and the ones that do need them for a very short amount of time. So that's, and it's called New Early Orthodontics. It's wonderful stuff, and they take small monthly payments. 303-690-0400. 690-0400. Okay, and Eric, you also have a comment on Credit Karma. Go ahead.
Hey, Tom. Hey, I use I have their app on my phone, and
what do you use it for?
Just try to keep a general idea on what my credit is, and I'll tell you something. They do give a score, but here's what I learned 2 years ago when I bought a car, and I went off that score before I was filing, before I applied for a loan. It's a rough score.
I understand. That's what we found out. It's not as it's pretty close though. And I thanks for those Credit Karma comments. Now I'm going to go back to Laura, who we left off with. So Laura, bottom line is this: if you're not on an account, you're not responsible. However, if you are the personal representative in an estate, you have a fiduciary responsibility to pay the bills of the estate before distributing money. But if they did not make a claim, there's a process. Did you do the advertising of his death and all that like you were required to do?
Actually, no, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't know.
If you did not go through the proper procedure, they could technically make a claim against you because you were the personal representative, and they can claim they didn't know about it, and therefore they weren't given a chance to get paid. But I don't think they will. But technically they could. So what are they asking you to do? They're simply asking you to say there are not any assets, right?
Yeah, they're asking for me to send a letter to this lady in California to close the account.
What would you do, Mike Wink?
I think I'd be inclined to send the letter if it closes the account. I mean, first of all, if your name is on joint property, like your home, that passes to you outside of probate upon the death of your husband.
And so do bank accounts.
So I wonder on the 401k, how did you get that?
No, that's not subject to creditors anyway. It's not.
Okay.
And it passes outside of probate.
If that passes outside of probate, I mean,
there was nothing. He's right. There were no assets. He's right.
And if it's just like personal property and stuff that's not nominal value, I would. Of course, if he had like a really expensive car in his name or something,
or a watch. How much is owed, by the way?
I believe it's somewhere between $1,200 and $1,400.
Yeah, I wouldn't even worry about it. You can send the letter if you want. That's really entirely up to you. Concrete lift and stabilization. Yes. What do I mean by that? Exactly what I just said. Concrete lifting and stabilizing. Why do you need it? Have you ever seen concrete crack? Wherever there's a crack, there's probably something underneath causing that, like a void. Or even if it's heaving, it's from a void somewhere else where water got in. Whatever it is, Devin Johns at Concrete Lift and Stabilization can analyze it for you free of charge. And then he'll recommend a solution. And when I say a solution, he's one of the only ones that can recommend either polyjacking or mud jacking. He has equipment for both. No other companies I know of have the equipment for both. What you do is you get it fixed once and for all by Devin Johns at Concrete Lift and Stabilization according to his assessment. And if he doesn't think it'll do any good because it's too far gone, he'll let you know. But if you can get the jacking done, it's a fraction of the cost of tearing out concrete and hauling it away. So give him a call to have any problems with your concrete assessed. 720-890-2740. 720-890-2740. ConcreteLift.com.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center. This report is...
I got to talk to, anyhow, I got to go talk to someone. Mike, it was good seeing you.
All right, you're leaving, huh?
I'll be down. We're going to do all that. I'll be downstairs. I just got to go see Crystalline real quick.
What's going on?
I got to buy a couple spots.
Oh, okay, I see what you're doing. I remember right. The resale thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And then, that's it.
For the forecast, partly sunny but cool today with a high of 62. Tonight, clear skies.
I did Aurora, though.
Okay.
And I did Rockies.
You done?
I did both.
Weather, I'm Pete Quack.
Nice with the backboard.
I did a whole thing on Aurora Ortho.
Tom's the only now that we're on TV, you know, we show off our. All right, Mark, take care. Yeah, it's good seeing you.
Water bottles.
On Hannity.
President Trump fired the FBI director. Comey has failed you, the American people. Nothing but a political hack and would not deliver equal justice under the law.
Hannity.
Coming up today at 1 on Denver's Talk Station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino here with Mike Wink from Wink and Wink. 303-713-TALK. And for the first time today, we have every single answer, every single call answered. You can get right through at 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. No matter who it is, what it is, give us a call if you have a problem, question, or complaint. As often happens, people toward the end of the show drop off, and it leaves a brilliant opportunity right at the beginning of the show and right at the end. While we have some time, though, in between 303-713-TALK, let's talk to you, Mike, because I want to know, in general, are bankruptcy filings up or down in general from, let's say, last year?
They're up from last year.
Why?
I think we just came out of a trough, and so what's happened is there was a lot of bankruptcies during the recession.
Yes,
people
lot.
deleveraged, and so they came down. It came down. I think what's happened since then is people have taken on more and more debt. In fact, I just saw a headline that said that consumer debt now is as high as it was at its peak. Wow. So I suspect we'll get busier, you know, as people have to deal with that.
Unfortunately. Laura, what's your second question? Laura?
Yes.
What was your second question?
My other question was, even though that was in my husband's name only, could that affect my credit score?
No, it can't affect anything.
Okay, and Credit Karma is great, by the way.
Oh, yeah, what do you use them for?
I have been monitoring my credit. A friend told me about it, and mine has actually gone from 762 to 784.
But other than monitoring, what do you do?
I just want to know, as far as I pay all my bills on time, my mortgage on time, I just want to know where I stand, you know, financially.
Okay, Laura, well, listen, you sound like you're faring well. Thank you very much. Sorry for your loss. Patrick's got a drone question. Go ahead, Patrick.
Hey, guys, the other day you had a caller call up about the law with requiring a license for drones.
Yeah, they're not doing I hear that they're not requiring it anymore. There's some recent rulings on that, but I'm not positive.
Well, I was up at the hobby store up on 80th and Wadsworth yesterday. Talked to one of the guys there. He actually races drones.
Yeah.
He's in the business.
Yeah.
He's like a total geek, and he said there is some rumblings. There is something happening.
Right, where they may now there was a requirement for licensing. It was not hard to get, but you had to be licensed, and but that was only for certain uses, not for recreation. That's only for commercial use.
Oh, I thought it was recreational too. If your drone flies above 400 feet.
Okay. Yes. If you fly in the no-fly, yeah, right. If you fly in those certain areas, you have to have a licensing. But I don't think even with, wait a minute, I don't think even with a license you can go certain heights. I think you're limited no matter what. I'm not sure. But
you're still limited. Yeah.
Right. But I believe the license is only for those who were doing commercial operations or wanted to fly in the commercial zones. But I don't think it's been rescinded yet.
I know I'm looking to get a license to actually a drone, very high quality, probably like Mark has.
Yeah.
And I absolutely have to get a license according to this guy.
Well, right now you do, but there were rumblings about removing that requirement.
Maybe just make it for commercial and not
that's
personal.
Well, I think it still is for commercial. I mean, I'm sure I'll get 100 phone calls after I mention this. To be honest with you, Patrick, I am so confused. It's a whole new area of aviation. But I'll find out, and we'll report on it. Let's do that. Okay, we really will, because we need to. Dory, what's happening? Dory?
Yes.
What's going on?
Yes.
Hi.
I I'll try to be really quick.
Okay.
I had a emergency room bill from the hospital in 2012, and it was satisfied because I had an indigent card.
What card, dear? What kind of card?
Indigent. Indigent.
Who? What do you mean it was excused?
Well, they told me when I called in that my son called in, I had a heart attack symptoms, and told him that the hospital that I wasn't able to come in because I had no Medicaid.
Where did you get the indigent card?
From the hospital.
Okay, so now
I had to show my Social Security and everything.
I understand
and show that I did not have.
I'm going to tell you something that you're going to find shocking. That they can still pursue a judgment for unpaid bills.
Well, yeah, I understand. Well, and it went on they satisfied it, and then in 2012. The next thing I heard was in last April 2016, I received what looked like a summons from a collection agent.
Okay, listen, one of two things happened, Dory, quickly, because we're running out of time.
Well,
First of all,
they filed a judgment against me, and then they just reversed it.
Okay, Dory, can I explain this to you, please? Dear, I know exactly what you're saying. They never, ever satisfied it. You did not get a release of judgment. They just decided not to pursue it. Now, please, now two things are happening now. Either they decided to pursue it again, or they sold it to someone who decided to pursue it, or it's not truly a real collection. They just found this judgment, and they're ghosting it. They're not in authority to collect. There are many...
Well, I just got, excuse me, but I just got a thing from the court saying that the hospital went to bat, the collection agency, it was an error, and I got a court thing yesterday in the mail that the court had dropped the judgment against me.
They dropped. So you have a transcript where they satisfied the judgment.
Exactly.
Okay.
But
good.
My problem is I lost my job over it because they falsified a court order, and I've had a judge.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me this judgment truly was dropped? You have the court record.
Yes.
Yet they told you that they went ahead and tried to collect anyway. Why would you lose your job over that?
No, they filed a judgment against me last September, saying that I did not appear in court.
Dory.
Now
Dory, you just told me that old judgment was satisfied. Is that right?
Yes. I had a court order last September, and they garnished my wages
Dory,
based on that court
I need to ask you a question. I need to ask you. The previous judgment you were telling me, that was satisfied, and you have a record of that, right?
There wasn't. Yes, I have a record of the judgment, but wasn't satisfied till All right,
you know what? I can't. Dory, I'm positive I can help you. But you talked about a judgment, and then you said it was satisfied. Then you said they got another judgment. I have to know if you're talking about one judgment or two judgments. I can help you. I promise you. But we're going to run out of time. Thank you for being here. WinkandWink.com, 303-410-1720 for Wink and Wink. Save all your problems for me.
Hey there, Dan Cicchini, owner of Done Right Kitchens and Baths, Windows and Doors. There's absolutely no reason why right now can't be your time to get started on that beautiful new kitchen or that awesome bath you've always wanted. Right, Todd?
Of course, Dad. With our unique cabinet resurfacing, they'll get that beautiful new kitchen, and without the mess and expensive replacement, and in a shorter time, too.
Boy, you've got that right, Todd. But if an all-new kitchen is on their wish list, we'll build it from the bottom up, first rate all the way. And let's not forget that very special room, the bath. What about that?
Well, hey, turning leaky, moldy, smelly baths into awesome rooms, that's what we do. Whether it's a tub to shower